Monday, Tuesday. No one cares about Wednesday. Thursday. Forget that noise. Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the rear-end? Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the rear-end? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trash. Thursday, Friday, forget about that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sleeping in, eating brunch. Hit the beach or hit the mall. Go out with friends, do nothing at all. Sleep in, watch movies, read books. Anything goes, just take a look. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear-end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear-end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear-end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear-end? Go. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear-end? Go.
Klein Alley Show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Thank God it's Friday!
Hell yeah, it is. Welcome to your weekend. This is Klein Alley Show on KROQ. Good morning and happy Friday.
Should we start drinking now for the event, or? Oh, wait, we have to drive.
Yes, I think, I wasn't sure which event we're talking about anymore. So many events I've lost. I thought you were talking
about busy week.
I thought you were start drinking now for Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, well, that's on Monday. But yeah, sure.
That too.
I think we should start drinking now for Cinco de Mayo. We're going to be hanging out after the show today. We'll remind you throughout, but if you'd like to come join us so we can hang out in the flesh.
At the Rove Charging Station in Santa Ana.
Yeah, that's right. Details up on the socials, Klein Alley Show. We got a good one planned for you today. We will bribe you, as always, with your Ohana Fest tickets, and we will continue to get you into some sold-out Royal Otis. All the audio and some video that we picked up on Hollywood yesterday for Green Day getting their star. Packed, as always. I'm not surprised. Actually, I am always surprised. I'm always like, wow, it's crazy to me, especially when you do something in the heart of Hollywood. You always expect you're going to get a certain amount of just random confused tourists that are there that don't really know what's going on, but they just think that that's what it's like to live in L.A. 24 hours a day.
They think that that's every day.
Every day. And by the way, in that part of town, it kind of is every day. Because there's always a movie premiere, some sort of an event, or they've shut down a street. I'm actually surprised at how many streets they shut down.
The amount of velvet rope that gets used in this town is
just wild.
Abundant. But I also am amazed at how many people can just not be at work at 11:30 on a Thursday.
That's the part that is always the most shocking to me.
Like, what did you do? Did you even have to give an excuse, or you just didn't do your work that day?
Yeah, I don't know how it is, but there's events happening constantly in this town. Maybe it's not like this in every town, but in LA, there's always stuff happening in the middle of the day. It's always packed, and then there's another 100,000 people outside waiting to go to the thing. And I just go, does nobody work? Does no one have a job? But I guess the reality is most people don't do jobs anymore, or they just make their own schedules where they got 19 side hustles that all cobble together to make some sort of a salary.
Yeah, or people, it's kind of like lovers now. It's like, well, I have this person, but if I find a better person, I'll just leave that person. Yeah. That's what people are doing with jobs now.
Right. Jobs are like situationships at this point. Well, anyway, we got a decent one for you today. It's going to be decent, worth your time. The more times I say decent, the more I'm not convinced it's going to be a good show. But I think we got something good planned for you, so go nowhere. This is Klein Alley Show on KROQ. Good morning. 1067 KROQ. We are Klein Alley Show on a Friday morning. Lots to give you. Just keep listening. And eventually, when we tell you to, call us 800-520-1067. You can also text that number. Don't be a stranger. We love the interactive show. So anything we talk about, consider that fair game for you to get in on.
Klein, you've been asked for neighbor favors before, right? A neighbor asked you to, I think, watch his entire house for like 3 weeks while he was gone.
Well, it was water the plants the whole time he was gone, and I failed at that. And I have
For free, though.
Oh, yeah, there was no talk of any sort of compensation. That's the weirdest part about a neighbor favor is I think there's a implied, like, you do something for me now, and then eventually when you leave town or when your house is getting broken into, I will step in and do something.
So it's interesting because our neighbors on our right-hand side are the nicest people ever. They're older, their kids are grown up, and they really don't need anything. They don't need favors. Maybe it's like, hey, can you bring in our cans if we're out of town? But they usually all have that figured out. They've done us many favors. And we are in a situation now where between the two of us, we have one working vehicle. Because my car is somehow dying a slow death. And I need to get to work, so I'm using Katie's car, which leaves Katie to have to figure out what the hell she's going to do. She pitched the idea of asking our neighbors if we could borrow their car.
Oh, no. And
I was like, I think that's crossing a boundary. And it would also be like, does that mean we are taking their car and using it without them there, or asking them for a ride, even if it's a ride that's just 10 minutes away? Do you think that's an askable neighbor favor?
No. Maybe
no transportation-related neighbor favors?
I think back in like the 1950s, that would have been acceptable, perhaps.
I'd like to borrow your horse, sir.
Yes. I see you got one of them Model T Fords, and I don't have a car, but if you could take me to the store to buy some turnips, that'd be great. In modern-day times, there's too many ways that you can have complete strangers pick you up and drop you off. And if you don't have a relationship with your neighbor, like some people are actually neighbor friends. They weren't friends, they were neighbors, but they've lived next to each other long enough that they've actually become friends. And then there's like friend neighbors, kind of, where you're friends because you're neighbors, but if you weren't, you wouldn't
be friends. Yeah, because we have another friend who is a friend, but she is a neighborhood friend. She lives in the neighborhood, but it's a mile away. And I feel like asking her for her car would be too much because then she would have to drive. It would be a whole thing.
It's weird because if someone were to say to me, like if a neighbor were to knock on my door, even if it's someone I'd never met, and be like, hey, I live up the street. Crazy question. I'm so sorry. I'm in a bind. My car's not starting. I have to be somewhere in 20 minutes.
And if you're just sitting there at home, like one of them I know doesn't work.
Right.
So she's just home.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't find it to be that off-putting. I would do it because I usually will help people out when I can, but I would never ask someone of that.
See, I was thinking the only way I would think this would be acceptable is if I hear her outside, trimming her bushes or whatever she's doing.
You try to work it in a conversation and make it seem like it was her offering?
Right. Just present the problem and go, oh, yeah, how's it going? Oh, yeah, it's tough right now because my car broke down and we don't know how we're going to get Wesley to school. Oh, well, I'll take you. No, that would be too much. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm unemployed. And then she takes me and then I'm good.
But you're the queen of taking people up on their offers when most of society knows that offers
are empty
and you do them because it's like saying, how are you feeling? Everyone's like, oh, I'm fine. And maybe you're not fine. Maybe you're having a terrible day or a great day. Usually you just say, I'm fine, and everyone accepts it. Whenever people offer Allie any sort of like, yeah, we're having a little thing. I mean, we already invited kind of the people we wanted there, but I guess if you have nothing else to do, before you can even finish it, Allie's like, count me in. And you're like, wait, I was just kind of throwing it out there.
I'll take this stuff to go, too.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, the way I think of it, yeah, I could take an Uber, I could take a Lyft, there's a bunch of other things that I could do. But as I walk outside my door, I see nothing but parked vehicles.
A lot of cars.
That are not being used.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, all of these people, and a lot of them are home doing nothing.
Why don't you get one of those?
Why would I pay money when this is just readily available to me?
Why don't you get one of those e-bikes you were talking about yesterday and
put my kid on the back?
Put your kid on the back of the e-bike. I see that sometimes. Sometimes I see like a family of 4 on a Lime scooter getting somewhere.
So
they're moving.
Here's the other thing: if my car has this problem again, which it might, I don't know how many thousands of dollars this is going to cost. Katie said, I think we should start thinking about having a third car as a backup vehicle in case something goes wrong with one of the other ones.
That is so stupid.
And I said, not only is that absurd, but what if I got a backup motorcycle?
Oh, yeah, because you have your motorcycle's license and she refuses to let you use it, right?
Because she is convinced I'll die, which I'm kind of convinced of that as well.
Oh, we all are. 100%.
I think it really would be how I go. But it would be great alternative. Oh, my car broke down? I'll take the bike.
Allie's motorcycle gang is called Hell's Cankles, and they are very dangerous.
And we are ruthless.
They will cut you.
Here's the lineup for the 3-day Ohana Fest at Doheny State Beach.
Ohana Festival founder Eddie Vedder making the call on this one himself.
Are you ready, Ohana?
Listen to KROQ at 9, noon, 3, and 6 to win 3-day passes to Ohana Fest, September 26th to 28th, Doheny State Beach, featuring Eddie Vedder and the Earthlings, Queen Day, Hosier, Kings of Leon, Cage the Elephant, Garbage, Wet Leg, and more.
Hello, this is Ed Vedder.
Hey, this is Billy Joe from Green Day.
It's Matt Schultz from Cage the Elephant.
Hi, this is Shirley from Garbage.
Listen to KROQ to win tickets to see us.
World Famous KROQ. Yeah, that's right.
Lola Young, K-Rock, what are you and Omar cackling about in here? I leave the room for 15 seconds to
Oh,
come
my
back.
God.
You guys are having a good old time.
Well, this has actually been something that's been in the works for, I think, a week or two now, and it
great.
was worth the wait. Omar, do you want to do the honors? Because I heard this on an episode of a true crime show that I was watching, and I thought, well, this has some sound bites in it that I know Omar, the audio sniper, could do a lot with. And, man, you delivered.
Thank you. So Klein, Allie sent me a clip of is it a podcast or is it a TV show?
It's Dateline.
Oh, it's a Dateline. Okay,
Dateline
so
NBC.
So there's this audio, and Klein is the guy who, in the show, is
He's a person
suspected
of interest at first, yes.
at a murder, right, in a murder case. And the audio, I felt like I could insert our own Klein into it and create a scene.
Yeah, great.
And,
just play it. All right, blah,
I think
blah.
it came out pretty
That's
good.
fine. Just play
Klein,
it.
before you
That's
get
fine.
upset, he didn't end up being the killer. He just ended up being a pervert.
That's right.
Great.
That's true.
But he had almost exactly your name.
Win for me. I feel great. Thank you. I remember when you played the clip of this at the beginning. His name was, what was it, Calvin
His
Klein?
name was Kegan.
Kegan Klein.
Kegan
Kegan
Klein.
Klein.
Yeah.
All right, great. Get ready for world premiere now. This is just some of Omar and his audio sniping at its finest. And
Yeah.
apparently, according to Allie's reaction, I saw, boy, it's good.
Who is Klein?
Klein is the person that will solicit girls to send them pornographic photos.
Oh, that is dirty.
Klein was a big, overweight,
I'm going to eat it all. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
not somebody that these girls would talk to kind of person, so he changed who he was.
I'm a handicap.
Not long after that Peeping Tom incident, law enforcement raided Klein's home.
Well, I don't know.
He's a bad guy. He's a pathological liar. He would tell us something we'd look into and it'd be a lie. He lied a lot.
Hey, don't mind me. I'm just a young boy.
Klein seemed to have a strong alibi that he was in Vegas at the time of the murders.
Yeah.
When Court TV's Barbara McDonald learned Klein was in jail, she contacted him.
Man, I am horny now.
What happened?
He talked to me. He gave me an interview from jail. So, are you aware that there's a bunch of news stories out there linking you to the Delphi murders?
I don't have no
Okay.
thought.
You have admitted that you created this fake profile, Anthony Schatz. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why did you create that profile?
I groomed a young boy.
But when it came to contact with Libby, Klein seemed evasive.
Are you aware whether you may have talked to Libby? Where were you on February 13th, 2017?
I like to smell parts of my girlfriend.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Me, such a bad boy.
And in the end, investigators couldn't prove he killed Abby and Libby.
We conducted a thorough investigation and ruled him out.
Another dead end.
Another dead end.
I'm boned up. I am boned up.
Klein would eventually plead guilty to 25 charges. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Are you ready for the rear end? Okay, thank you. Great. What a wonderful tribute. Thank you, Omar.
You're welcome.
That was everything I could have imagined and more.
Star of Dateline.
I
It's
love
great.
the question answer section.
Can people with my name stop committing terrible crimes and giving
25 crimes.
25 crimes?
40 years in prison.
It's good to know that if I ever do get accused of doing any crimes, I'm just going to mumble instead of answer. right, well played. That'll be
I'm a young boy.
instant hit. Shout out Omar, the audio sniper. OMG, this is everything. Wow.
Hashtag date Klein NBC.
Praise pouring through all over the text line for the great Omar Khan. I'm going to go rethink my alibi. And also, Vegas does sound fun right about now.
Yeah.
KROQ.
Klein Alley Show. Klein Alley Show.
KROQ, the world famous KROQ. KROQ.
Get your flowers pouring through on the text line. People saying, well done, audio sniper. That's why he's the best. That's just a... that's
so
not
many people
me.
with suggestions of other sound clips to use, too, which is great. 831 Omar, at the end of the clip where he gets sentenced, you also should add his puppy noises.
We don't need any more. It's fine as it is.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Are you ready for the rear end? We don't need to add more sounds to it. It's fine.
714, oh my God, I fell off my chair. 949, I can't stop laughing. Kudos to Omar. Jake, take notes, Jake.
Let's not forget
early nomination for Song of the Year.
Not a song. and let's not forget for a moment, before we give all this glory to Omar, who's the guy that said all the dumb things during the story over the many years. Me.
Yeah,
you're trying to now take credit for this?
That's right. I didn't realize the audience would like it so much.
But who is an idiot?
Right.
First, me. That's who. And who is a pervert? The other client.
Yeah, let's not get confused here. I know there's new listeners don't understand that was a lot of clever editing, and they think that that's a real story. Oh, Klein was on Shark Tank and on Dateline? Wow. I was not on Dateline. That was a different guy with a different name and a different spelling, I believe. And Omar just got real clever with his
no, it wasn't different
witchcraft.
spelling.
Well, whatever. He did some sort of weird audio witchcraft and made me look like a real deviant.
Oh,
and I am a deviant.
Klein was the focus, but you're the star.
Mm-hmm. No, we're not playing it again. People demanding
we are
an encore.
absolutely playing that again.
I think it's been deleted, the
310,
file.
I'm at my desk stealthily watching the live stream. Right. I'm so glad I got to hear that at work. 310 OMFG, I'm crying. Stop, guys. I got to drive straight. This isn't safe.
Well, it's not real, so just understand that I did very few of those things. I mean, that guy sounds like he was living a fun life. I'll be honest, a little jealous. Went to Vegas and whatever, but...
Well, having watched the actual episode, I can say that you are much more attractive than Keg and Klein.
Thank you. I'll take that as a win. 106.7 KROQ Klein Alley Show. Usually around this time, we would give you a shot to win Allie's money with some Allie Knows the News, but we're going to move that to after 7 o'clock to give even more people a chance to take Allie's money.
Yep.
Want people to wake up a little bit and then have a better chance to get paid by Allie.
Because it's pawn shop time now.
So excited to go back to the pawn shop with Mama and Koala and the other one. I forget all their names, but they are my favorite cast of characters. Nonya, that's right. Nonya and Koala. These are all people that Jake has introduced us to when he goes to the pawn shop near the neighborhood he used to live in. Doesn't live there anymore, so he has not been to the pawn shop in a while. We thought it'd be a great opportunity to get him back to the pawn shop to sell all his fat guy stuff he doesn't need anymore. So he went in there, Allie, with like picnic blankets and spoons he used to eat ice cream
basket?
with. He went in there with a bunch of fat guy things. I had to try to unload him. I think his big fat pants he couldn't wear anymore.
Look, as somebody who has lost weight before, it is a nice freeing feeling to get rid of clothes that are no longer fit you, and you're like, God, this part of my life is over.
But pawn shop,
it's a victory.
Pawn shop not probably the place to go. And as you know, this is
Goodwill would be where you go.
This woman, the people at the pawn shop, you don't want to rub them the wrong way because they have a temper. And this was like last time he went there, he walked into the middle of a negotiation that was going south real quick.
No, we don't buy hose without the compressor.
It's too much money. I don't want to buy it.
So, I mean, people are constantly they're yelling at each other about prices.
Get out of here with your compressor.
Fake, and this is that. And so I'm very excited that Jake returned to the pawn shop. Ladies and gentlemen, we call this Jake Goes to the Pawn Shop.
The guy is very weird.
Jake sells the stuff at the pawn shop. Jake says the value is tip top. Jake says, hey, what are you going to buy? All they say is,
what's up with this guy?
Jake sells the stuff at the pawn shop.
All right, Jake's back at the pawn shop, and this time he's got his box of fat pants, and there's always that loud music playing when he walks in. Place your bets.
Hey there. How you doing?
Long time, huh?
Do you recognize me?
Yes, of course.
'Cause I lost a lot of weight.
So he's hoping that they wouldn't recognize him because he lost a lot of weight.
It's not the same person.
Right, but it's still the weird Jake.
I know who you are.
He probably had that dog on him and everything, so.
Yes, of course.
'Cause I lost a lot of weight.
What happened?
What happened? You dying?
What happened? No congratulations. Just
I got on the Ozempic.
You were not fat.
Oh, well, thank you.
What'd she say, Jake?
She says you are not fat.
Oh, okay, you were not fat to begin with. Well, you were at your all-time high weight, so thanks to Lazaro, you started losing that weight real quick. Yep. So,
okay.
Now this guy,
he's mentally preparing himself.
This guy is always so disappointed when Jake shows up because he knows he has nothing of value ever. Only to this point.
562 asked, has Jake ever successfully sold anything at the pawn shop? He did sell one, but it was not his item; it was your item.
Right, it was a collector. It was a collector Pez dispenser that he was able to sell, and I think he only got $5 for it.
I got on the Ozempic.
You were not fat.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay.
This guy sounds so mad already.
So I brought a bunch of my old fat stuff I don't need anymore.
What? What happened to you? Where did you go?
Oh, I moved to a different part of the city.
That's why you haven't stopped by
Yeah.
that often. Okay.
Yeah. Did you miss me?
Yeah.
That is the best response I have ever heard to that question. It was like a mix of laughter, shame. It was like every emotion all in one.
In her head, it's just going, don't say no, don't say this.
Yeah.
She literally didn't miss him at all. But
Did you miss me?
Yeah. Always.
I think she threw up a little bit in her mouth too.
All right, so what a beautiful reunion between Jake and the people at the pawn shop.
Always. Okay. All right. Well, I got some of my old fat stuff I don't need anymore.
No, we're not getting close. No.
No clothes.
No clothes.
She already shuts Jake down. He's just starting to unload all of his treasures. He brought a lot of stuff with him. The reason we originally sent Jake to the pawn shop is because he's got all these dumb things in his nerd hole, like rocks and...
Well, he's got some good concert posters from many years ago that are all good
books.
quality. And when he needs money, because he doesn't make a lot,
Right.
he will sell things that he's collected over the years, like comic books and things
But he
like
also
that.
tries to convince us that all the stuff in there is valuable, and we say there is no value to your little stuffed octopus in there has no value
Well, I think
in the
he
real world.
determined that the one most valuable comic he has is not even worth that much.
No. It's really sad. So anyway, that's why we first sent him to the pawn shop. Now he's back. He's trying to sell all the fat guy stuff he no longer can fit into, and she shuts him down right out of the gate when he pulls out his giant pants.
No clothes.
No clothes. No.
My fat pants.
Nope.
These are really good, high quality jeans that I ripped because I was so fat. Not interested in these? Extra, extra, extra large. No?
We don't take clothes.
Okay.
Give me something good.
What about this?
Give me something good. No, he's the wrong guy for that.
These are high quality pants that I ripped because I was so fat. What a great sell.
No wonder she missed you as much as she did. Here's the next item Jake tries to sell at the pawn shop.
Mickey Mouse picnic blanket that I don't need anymore because I don't do picnics anymore.
No picnic?
He's so sad for you. No picnics?
Why couldn't you do a picnic? They are so fun.
That guy loves picnics.
He's just always on a picnic.
He's very sad. He's very disappointed. Jake is no longer picnicking because that was the additional meal. That was one of his 9 meals of the day.
No picnic?
No, because I don't eat that much anymore. I'm on a diet.
Only near White House.
Sorry?
Only near White House.
Okay. All right.
There's some internal joke there that they think is
Did they
great.
just make a joke about the government?
I think they said only picnics near the White House.
Okay.
But they think it's very funny, and Jake's got no time for laughs. He's right to the next item.
But you don't want this Mickey Mouse picnic blanket? Okay. What about this trophy I got for eating 6 spicy fritters?
So Jake has won. We found out Jake won a food competition where he ate the most spicy fritters.
No, not the most. He just ate. He did a spicy fritter challenge.
Right, but he actually didn't get an award for that. So I think he tried to pass off our ham dogger trophy as the spicy fritter award. And you can't pull. The problem with the pawn shop people is they're so used to being lied to. People are always trying to sell them fake diamonds and fake watches that you can't pull anything over them. I mean, listen to this. He tries to say, I won this award for eating the most spicy fritters, which is a true story. Jake did, but then he tries to give the ham. Listen, this woman, you can't get anything past mama.
For eating 6 spicy fritters.
What the hell is that? Is it a hot dog?
So right away, she's already concerned. Why did he present her with a hot dog trophy?
And why wouldn't Jake just lie and say he won a hot dog competition?
Right. The whole story's backwards. And these guys, pawn shop people are great at sniffing out liars, dude.
Yeah.
Is it a hot dog?
Yeah.
That's a funny thing. I'm dogger. Okay.
Well, anyway, so she
doesn't even like your ham dogger idea.
Right.
Yeah? No? All right. What about, this is a solid gold In-N-Out coin.
Now, this is actually something that could be of value.
Wow.
And, the pawn shops love gold. Nothing makes pawn shops happier than real gold, especially now. So
and Lindsay Snyder, she gave us some precious In-N-Out coins that are good for one meal at In-N-Out, but why would you use it for that? Because those coins don't seem like they come by very often.
No, they are like rose gold in color, very nice. Jake says, I got one solid gold coin, good for In-N-Out, but it's gold. I know you guys like gold, and this is where things start going real south.
Good for...
There is not such a thing as a In-N-Out solid gold coin.
Right away, she said, it doesn't exist. What you're saying is not real.
310 said, maybe Jake was hoping they would pay by the pound.
They were probably hoping for it. Not the case at the pawn shop.
Said it's solid gold. Said it's worth its weight in gold. You can get anything you want on the menu with that.
It's not even heavy enough for gold.
It feels heavy to me.
He's so weak.
So she's already determined this In-N-Out coin is not gold.
Seems like it looks gold.
Good for one burger. You're kidding me, right?
Good for one burger.
She always loses. Eventually, she just decides she's over Jake.
Yeah, I know. And she's excited to see him at first, but she loses her patience quickly.
Because the time is money for the pawn people, and you have nothing of value.
This looks gold.
Good for one burger. You're kidding me, right?
It's worth its weight in gold.
How much you paid?
I didn't. I was
It's
given
not
this.
gold. Who told you it's gold?
Wow.
She starts to get real mad at Jake.
The In-N-Out people.
Okay, it's not gold.
How do you know?
I know that. It's not. Look at my gold coins there, and you will understand what this gold coin is. Right there. That is a gold coin.
It looks the same.
You kidding me, right?
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
This was even better.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you right now because you're not familiar with coins, okay? But it is not a coin. It's not a gold coin. It's an In-N-Out coin, good enough for one burger. It says there.
Okay, so what do you think this is worth?
Nothing.
So she's determined now. His big finish, the gold coin, is worth nothing.
$6 maybe? In-N-Out burger?
Okay.
Yeah. Combo meal.
What about...
Combo meal. She says combo meal.
So Jake's not having a lot of luck at the pawn shop. He's so desperately trying to unload his fat guy stuff. He's finally down to
Man,
he
don't
bought-
argue with the pawn shop lady about her gold. She knows gold.
He failed at the gold thing, so now he's trying some silver. And these are the spoons he used to eat ice cream with. And this does not go over well either.
This silver-plated spoon that I ate my last pint of ice cream with.
You're such a funny guy. Yeah.
A whole pint of ice cream with this spoon.
That's fine.
And this is the other spoon that I ate a bunch of gravy with before it went bad. And these are silver.
Plated.
But still.
It's not worth anything.
Another thing worth
It's not
nothing.
worth anything.
So he's had no luck with gold and no luck with silver.
But if you put them together, you can play them. Kick like that, kick like that. Play spoon. You don't want to play it? Okay. What about this?
They don't even respond. They just watch Jake playing the spoons.
Clickety-clack.
Jake's big finish to try to sell his spoons. That
Is
he
let
ate.
me perform for you and show you their true value.
And you don't hear them go quiet often, but
But if you put them together, you can play them. Kick like that, kick like that. Play spoons. You don't want to play it? Okay. What about this TV tray that I used to keep by my bed because I would eat it all times a day and I didn't want to get out of bed to eat?
We don't take this, my friend.
Don't take this either. All right. So none of my fat stuff. Even this trophy.
No.
Well, all I can do is try.
You can go with this closest to out of closet, but it's just donation.
Are you telling him to come out of the closet? What is he saying?
he's telling him to take all of his stuff next door to the out of the closet and donate it. It's got zero value.
Nobody's gonna give you money for this. I mean, like you won't be able to sell anything.
So you only think I can donate it.
Yeah.
Even my gold coin.
It's not gold.
It's not gold. She's so.
You want I can scratch it, but
No, it's not gold.
So now they're fighting internally because
He's
going,
like, why don't you at least scratch it and see if it's gold?
yeah, and she's like, it's not.
But if you scratch it, you can tell if it's gold or not.
Yeah, of course. But this is not gold.
Okay.
You cannot even open the case because it's sealed.
No,
that means it's worth more because it's sealed.
She's so mad, Mom.
Because
All right.
it's sealed.
All right. Well, it's good to see you guys.
Oh.
That guy hates you.
It's changed so much.
Well, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
You guys buy rocks?
Just for decoration, but we sell them.
Oh, you sell them?
Yeah.
Cool. How much are they rocks?
40.
For all of them?
So now Jake's
Oh
about
my
to,
God! Now he's gonna buy
So
something.
now Jake is not only
They have cool geodes there.
he was unable to sell any of his fat stuff. I think he got scammed for some rocks on the way out.
like magic beans.
Man, Jake's
That was a
loving life.
joy, a true joy. Thanks, Jake.
At the pawn shop, total net value if you're keeping track. Let me carry the one here. $0. K-Rock. Allie had an altercation yesterday with the police.
I
And
didn't have an altercation with the police.
It sounds like you did. I
But-
saw a picture too, and today you claim that you're moving very slowly. So,
Yeah.
so you got tased at Target trying
No,
to steal.
technically, I got hit by a car.
What?
So
Were you walking?
I'm walking gingerly,
No
but yes,
way.
I'm walking.
Is the car okay?
Shut up! The car's fine.
How much damage to the car?
I didn't damage the stupid car. The car damaged me. I'm damaged goods.
So I'll take a moment of silence and think about that car for a second. Hold on.
Shut up.
Totaled.
It's not total. It's not a total loss. So
Allie, what happened?
I had decided, like I said, to go to Target to look at some Valentine's Day cards and get some stuff together for the show. And so I had parked, and at Target in the parking lot, they have like 50 spots for handicap, 50 spots for curbside. You have to park kind of far even if you get a good spot. So I'm walking.
They're the most egregious. No offense, Target. You got a lot of cool stuff.
I was
but
like halfway down the aisle, and I was like the first normal spot.
the Target I go to, there's one level of parking lots you can't even park on unless you are handicap or picking up like
or both. Sometimes you have to be both.
You have to be handicap with a pre-order. It's the only way you can park there. If not, you can't even go on that level.
So I'm walking, and I've got like a 10-minute window where I can run this errand before I have to pick my kid up from school. So I'm walking kind of fast, and as I am passing the handicap section of the parking lot, I suddenly feel an impact on my leg, knee, hand, lots of pain, and I'm knocked down to the ground, and I realize that a car backed out of their spot immediately into me, and I'm glad they were planning on pulling out all the way, but once they realized they hit me, they decided to stop. And
you got backed into.
Yes, they backed into me.
The irony of that is we always play those funny sounds when we talk about you backing up, which are those loud warning beeps.
I know, and I probably should have those for walking forwards now. So it hurt. I mean, when you're not expecting that, which I guess when are you?
Well,
but even if you're,
I think getting hit by a car, yeah, it would hurt for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but of all the places,
but it's like you're just on your way. You're like doing something mindless, right? You're like in autopilot, and then all of a sudden you just experience a lot of pain, followed by you're on the pavement, you don't know what happened, and then you realize that, oh my God, there's a car there that just literally backed into me. I'm glad they didn't keep going.
What kind of car? Like a SUV, regular car?
See, that's why I'm bad in these scenarios, because I'm not an observant person, and I have no idea. It was black. It was a black car.
Even now, you don't have an idea afterwards? You didn't make notes?
So
take pictures?
I'm on the ground, and then I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God!
Oh, face plant, or you put your hands out, or
can't remember. Can't tell you, Omar.
Wow.
I just remember I was on the ground.
Did a crowd gather to see what happened?
How'd this whale get here?
Another beached whale. No, there were a couple people who stopped, including one of the guys who was doing the curbside stuff at
to
Target.
help you, or just to watch, like you would do.
To point and laugh.
Okay.
And no. They did end up helping me. So the guy gets out, and he's an old man.
Oh, an old guy.
Old guy in a handicap spot, and you
just mushed yourself yesterday by bad talking that old lady.
So true.
I
Yesterday
know.
on the show, Allie could not have. She put so much shade on the elderly community because she got mad that old lady tried to cut in front of her, ironically at a line. Who knows if that was a target or not?
She was trying to get old privilege.
She was trying to get old privilege. Allie was bitching about old privilege yesterday, and that's the ultimate old privilege, is backing into people.
Yeah.
And pull out of your handicap
So
spot.
this guy goes, oh, wow, I was looking at another car to wait for that car to pass by, and then I just backed out, and you were there. Like, who knows how this happened? And I'm like, okay.
Wait, that's the first thing he said?
Yeah, he started like rambling about an excuse of like why.
What the hell?
Well,
You didn't even check in on your well-being?
Because people learn when you get into an accident, you're never supposed to, even if it's 100% your fault, you're never supposed to say, like, I'm sorry, or that's my fault, or that's on me. Because if Allie decides to, go after this guy, then, he's going to make the argument that it was her fault because she was running through the parking lot, not whatever.
It's never the pedestrian's fault,
In this case, it could have been.
No. See, that's why I knew that you were going to say this is my fault. All I am doing is walking through the parking lot.
You said you were running. You had 10 minutes.
I wasn't running. I was walking quickly, but there were no cars around him. I was in there was that handicap section where there was only like one or two cars that were parked there. It wasn't like a row of jam-packed cars.
Maybe he was thinking, this woman's in the handicap section, but she's not handicapped. Let's fix that.
Are you a vigilant walker in the parking lot? Did you see the little white backing up lights pop on, or did he do it so fast that you didn't even
It was so fast. I was already in his path when he backed up. Like, I was already.
He just put it in reverse and then hit the gas.
Yes. So then he gets out and he's like, and then he said, "Are you okay?" And as I'm getting up, and didn't help me up, by the way. As I'm getting up, I'm like, I think so. I think I'm all right. And then he goes, okay, starts getting in his car and says, sorry about that, and leaves.
What?
That was his plan. Get out of there.
You let him leave?
Well, I didn't know what was happening. I was like shocked by what the hell happened, and I was like, okay. So
Dude,
then
most of these accidents, you're not going to feel like the actual
the injury,
like, pain, right, for days.
So then I start taking a few steps as I continue into the store, and I'm like, I need to sit down. So I sit down on the curb. And I had like my fingernail, I had like bent back, and my leg was kind of hurting, and I was like, I need to take a minute. And meanwhile, the guy drives right by me as I'm sitting on the curb.
So you got a picture of the car?
So this woman pulls up and she goes, "Oh my God, are you okay? I just saw that whole thing. I wrote down his license plate number."
Oh, nice. Good Samaritan.
And she's like, and I was like, "I think I'm all right." And she was like, "Is there anybody you can call to let know that you're okay, or let them know what happened? Or are you going to file a police report?" I was like, I don't know. Like, I think I'm okay, but yeah, I guess I should call my wife. So I get the license plate number and I call my wife, and she is no help at all. She's like, "Oh my God, you probably have an aneurysm. You're going to die. Oh my Lord, you should probably call an ambulance to come get you, etc." I'm
Are
like,
you
"No."
for real?
Yeah, I'm like, "Well, this isn't making me feel any better. This is making me feel really nervous." So then I'm like, "Okay, I need to file some kind of report." And then as I start figuring out what I want to do, I'm like, "Well, I need to get the camera footage because you guys are going to find it hilarious."
Oh, God, please tell me they gave it to you.
So I went to guest services. I waited in that long line of people complaining about their returns and everything like that.
If you have the camera footage of you getting hit by this car, it will make my year. Please.
So eventually a supervisor comes and she goes, "How can I help you?" I'm like, "Somebody hit me in the parking lot. I need some camera footage." And they were like, "Well, you have to file a police report and the police have to request it. If the police request it, we'll give it to them and then they can give it to you." I go, "Okay, then I guess I'll file a police report." So I call the police and they were like, "So are you okay?" I was like, "I mean, yeah." And they were like, "So what do you want me to do about this?" And I was like,
"Need the camera footage."
We need to see the fall of the mall.
So a cop shows up. This has been like an hour and a half by this point that I've been in the parking lot and at Target.
Where's your son? Did he get picked up from school or is he still there?
Katie went and picked him up.
Oh, okay.
So then
sorry to stop you, but isn't this technically a hit and run? And the officer really didn't care about it? Because just because you say, "Hey, are you okay?" you still left the scene because you were out of your senses.
So she was like, "Did you say you were okay to the guy?" And I was like, "I said I think so, but I don't really know." And they were like, "Do you need us to send paramedics?" I was like, "I mean, no, but my thumb hurts."
Right.
And, so they were just like, "I guess we'll send an officer to do an incident report." So then the cop shows up. I'm waiting a long time for that. Eventually he shows up and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, well, this guy was in the spot and he starts backing up and he hits me and I fall over. And then suddenly the guy that hit me walks up.
Stop it.
To the police car.
No way.
And goes, "Hi, yes, that's me."
He came back.
"I came back because I was so worried about you." And I was like, "What?" Like an hour and a half
was it
later.
Ashton Kutcher? And you're a punk.
So here we are. Yeah. First bike ride. So
can't believe we got a sequel to the Crash video.
I know,
excited.
I know. So then he goes, "Hey, I was waiting for this car to pass, and then she ran into my car." Says I ran into his car,
and I'm after you.
I start going, "What the hell?" And then the cop's like, "All right, what do you want to do then? Do you guys just want to exchange information?" And the guy's like, "Well, it's up to her, And he's like playing the old person card again.
Sure.
So I'm like, "Yeah, I do want to exchange information." And he goes, "Okay." And then he tells the cop, "Here's my business card. I am a claims investigator."
That's what the guy's job is.
Yes.
The old man.
Yes, the old man is a claims investigator.
You're cooked, Allie. You're cooked.
He gives me his business card.
You got to get Sweet James in your corner. He'll take care.
Look at this. He is a private investigator.
Oh, my God.
And I realize...
Oh, he's one of these ambulance chaser guys.
Dude, so I realize he probably heard a police scanner say, "Hey, here's the license plate number of this guy. Somebody's coming out to the parking lot."
Heard that he was under investigation for hit and run.
And then he came back.
Came back to the scene of the crime.
Came back to the scene of the crime to somehow prevent an incident report from happening, swaps information, and goes on his way. Damn. And now this is literally the worst person that can hit me.
Yeah, worse.
Is a claims investigator going, "Okay, well, what's the point of pursuing this, right?"
Hey, you're on KROQ. Good morning. What's up? Hey.
That is the dumbest thing ever. Like, how do you get hit and act like that? Like, how do you become a radio host and you're that illiterate and that dumb? Like,
there's a good question, Allie. Let's go ahead and blame the victim here.
We don't know whose side they're on. Let's take the next call.
So when do we get the video? That's the most important thing here.
That's the thing, though, Omar, is that I don't think they're going to ask for it because they don't consider this an incident because there's no incident report.
It's an incident. As long as you get litigious, it's an incident. And you got to get that video.
Am I going to get litigious just to get the video?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We'll have a whole screening.
But if I call, say, Sweet James or something like that, I mean, this is a road to go down, right?
Yeah.
And this guy seems like an expert. I mean, this guy has a website and everything.
He has an AOL.com email address. He's the expert you're going with? That guy? Get out of here. Look at his email
address. And I'm like,
address.
I can't believe I thought this little old man, I'm like, oh, just let him go. I don't want him to, take away his license and all that stuff. And now this guy's screwing me.
Here's the deal. If you get this video, I will rent out a theater in Hollywood, and we will fill it with listeners of the show. We can all gather for the big world premiere of Allie getting hit in a parking lot video.
And I would just love to know what happened, so I just want to review the footage.
Because there is an outside chance that once you see the footage that maybe you did run into his car, and you are the problem.
You think that out of all of this, I'm going to go bankrupt? That would happen to me.
It's possible. It'd be great. most recent recipients of that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame right there, Green Day. And after getting a little bit of time to hang with them, we'll tell you some stories that took place on Hollywood yesterday. Those guys seemed really appreciative of an award that's really a fake award. I mean, we could talk about how ridiculous the concept is of the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But I think once you're out there and you see all of the people that show up and all the traffic that is shut down, all the people that love you.
And you can smell the dog pee on the trees.
Allie had the best seat / worst seat at the entire event, and it was so funny.
I was like, wow, front row, that's so cool.
It was a typical Allie situation where she thought she had the greatest seat ever, and she's like, I've never been treated so good. And then she realized she was behind a tree that just was covered in probably 5,000 gallons of dog and human urine.
It was hard for me to concentrate on the speeches because the dog urine was so strong.
Powerful. And like I was one seat over, and I was getting a nice clean breeze. But
and you were next to Flava Flav.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like next to me. You had the complete different experience.
So we'll get into all that took place out there, and for everyone we got a chance to say hi to, and there was no shortage of you out there. Hopefully you had as good a time as we did. Let's get to your news right now, and then we can kick off officially a brand new hour of the show. Hold on, I don't see the intro. Hold on, here we go. It's time for your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
All right, Omar will be the first to tell you that baseball is boring, but if you have seen this video of what happened at the Pirates-Cubs game, it was anything but boring.
You know, when Omar told me, he was the guy who broke the video to me. Omar, he goes,
this was right after the show, the story came out, and you were like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, he didn't realize at the time, I guess, how badly
the severity of the injury.
Yeah.
No, I just saw the video. I'm like, the guy's okay. It turns out he's in pretty bad shape.
Well, Andy's like almost naked, so you just think like, naked drunk guy falls. It's another funny day at a baseball game.
Right.
But then this guy did not get up, and they had to cart him off the field. They spent 5 minutes doing some emergency stuff on him, paused the game and everything. He fell 21 feet.
Oh.
And you can see in the video, he's in the front row of that second row, or of that second floor, excuse me. And then a play happens, and all of them in the front row stand up, and then it just seems like he lost his balance, and it wasn't just a flat fall. Like, he tumbled as he was falling.
Awkward fall.
Very awkward fall. The guy's name is Kevon Markwood, and he is a former athlete at Walsh University. He played football there, and he is apparently very well liked. There were a lot of players as well from the Cubs and the Pirates and the general manager that were all commenting on.
Is he still in critical condition?
Yeah, he's still in critical condition. They're all kind of sending thoughts and prayers and hoping that he pulls through. Because some people were saying, in my whole baseball career, I've never seen anything like this happen, and I hope I never have to see it again. Because I think it was pretty shocking to see live.
Who has a worst front row story from yesterday? That guy or you at the Green Day thing?
That's a great point, Klein.
Both of you thought you had good
but
situations.
I smelled dog pee.
Those front row baseball seats, when you get to your seats and you realize, wow, I'm right up there, no one blocking my view, it's great. But a lot of times, foul balls hit you. I mean, there's all the danger of getting falling off. You lose balance. Like this guy fell onto the field. Doesn't happen often, but I feel like at least once a season, you hear a story of someone that kind of falls. And I know that even like where we watched the Lakers game up at the KROQ box or whatever, they've got the tiny little glass.
But it's like a half glass.
Mini glass walls. But if you're drunk enough or leaning enough or top heavy enough, you're falling right down.
Klein, I think about that every time we are in that
every single time
area. I'm like, I could, dumb me would fall sober.
Yes.
And those railings for some other, like even at SoFi, some of the railings on those other floors, like you can easily fall off that, and you would just fall into other people.
Right,
you wouldn't fall onto
them.
the baseball
but
field.
I don't trust myself enough to think that I know we're an adult. We should be able to, balance and stand up and sit down.
But you look over and you're like, ooh, this could go south.
There's
real quick.
not a lot of margin for error there.
No.
I'm actually surprised this doesn't happen more often. But,
yeah, me too.
Omar
and of course, it's getting a bunch of conversation about railings and safety and making changes at some of these ballparks.
Omar's back on baseball now. He thinks it's a great sport.
I love it. All right, the man who rocked a mullet without shame or regret, Michael Bolton. He has been diagnosed with an aggressive brain cancer. I don't think that that's been a secret. Maybe you already knew this, but what you didn't know was the weird symptom that led to his diagnosis. His daughter revealed this, but before I share that, I just want to take a moment No. Even if we're not a part of it, but this new 1% rule will help you get closer to the 1%. If you are out shopping and you have an impulse decision to buy something, here's the 1% rule. If that item costs more than 1% of your annual income, you need to hit the brakes and you need to give yourself 24 hours before you decide to buy that item. So whether it's a high-end espresso machine or a weekend getaway, new gaming console, whatever it is, if you do the math, if you can figure that out, 1% of your annual income.
Yeah, who's doing that?
And then you go, whoa, I need to think about this. I mean, if you're doing quick math in your head, you're probably not the same person who's getting an impulse buy for a weekend getaway or a high-end espresso machine, but still, it's a good rule of thumb.
I'm going to go out after the show and buy the world's most expensive calculator so that I can do this. And that way, I'll know to
then I'll go, whoa, I should not have bought that.
Outside of my means. We get into a brand new hour of the show right now, perhaps the greatest hour of your life, with lots to give you, and it all starts now right here on KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Thank God it's Friday!
With them Friday feels, by the end of today's show, hopefully we send you to Ohana Fest to see some Eddie Vedder and Hozier, Green Day, Cage the Elephant, Kings of Leon. In fact, one of those artists I just mentioned will be the next song you hear on KROQ. Place your bets. Who will it be? We'll find out in a moment together. Welcome to your weekend. I'm Klein. That is Allie.
Morning.
We got DJ Omar Khan right there. Jake Z Nerd. There's Jake. I thought his mic off. Hey, what's up, Jake?
Hey, dog.
There's Jake the Nerd. And in the back room, Postmaster Johnny and Vanessa taking your calls. Recap everything that took place at the Big Star dedication for Green Day. If you haven't been to the socials in a while, check them out. Some great stuff there. Allie mentioned how she was sitting by the big dog, the dog pea tree. And I was sitting next to Flava Flav, which was a great seat. At one point, I did lean over to Allie and let her know that Flav farted during the ceremony.
He also had a microphone fail, which was pretty funny.
That was the best.
He was supposed to be the hype man. I know. There was no hype.
I know. And Trey Cool went up to him and was like, dude, once they lift off the star, you got to do what you do. You know what to do. And he was like, okay. And so he was ready. He was about to go up. And then they revealed the star. He went up to the mic.
Well, first of all, he didn't want to go up.
Nothing happened.
It was
the mic was off.
It was unsanctioned hyping, and they were walking up, and Trey Cool just turned to Flav. He goes, "Yo, throw out a yeah boy after we get the star. After they show the star." And
which is a great idea.
And Flav's like, he's like, really? And Trey's like, of course. And Trey's like a loose cannon. You know, he doesn't care about any sort of rules. He's the best. So Flav, he's like, I don't think so. And he even turned to me. He's like, I don't think I should do that. I'm like, you got to do it. You're Flav.
Oh, wow. You egged him on.
I convinced him to do it. So then he's like, and then you see, I actually posted this video. It's on our Reels right now. He kind of stands there. He's like, I don't think I should. You can see he's having that moment in his head. Do I go out and do it? I don't want to steal the moment from Green Day. And then he convinced himself to go do it. He runs up. The mic gets cut right as he goes to the mic. So he kind of lets out a, yeah, boy, which no one hears.
I know. And then only Green Day, who's right in front of him, could hear it.
Only Ryan Reynolds hears it and turns around and gives him a laugh. So
and then he came back and he was like, they cut the mic.
Yeah, he was all disappointed. He's like, man, yeah, anyone get it? And I was like, yeah, it was still great. We still heard it. I didn't hear anything.
No, I heard none of it.
But then I did hear his fart. Crystal clear. That was very loud.
You heard it?
Oh, yeah.
Does he fart? Yeah, boy?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, boy. It was great. You would have loved it, Omar. Probably not as great of a day as this guy.
What a great day. Green Day gets a star on the Walk of Fame. I just got laid, plus I'm getting a truck, and KROQ's getting me to wash my car. What a great day.
That is fact. If your car is covered in bird crap right now, dust, whatever the case may be, we are washing the first 100 cars that show up at our event. We'll be doing later on today at Rove and Recharge Market. You want to stop by 11:30 to 1:30. We're going to be in
cool because it's not going to rain soon.
Santa Ana. That's right, Omar. No rain in the forecast.
Can't control the weather.
Can't,
the event is happening.
Regardless of the rumors, I have no control over the weather. So as a result, we must just wash your car until Mother Nature does a better job of washing your car.
Can my car get washed?
20. No, your car's not eligible, Jake. The car wash said yours is too dirty. There's nothing they can do.
You know, you have said yourself that every time you wash your car, it
Every
rains.
time.
And you are the mush of this entire event.
To be completely honest, I professionally get my car washed, I would say somewhere in the category of maybe 5 times an entire year, maybe probably less than that. But you can guarantee on whatever day I pick to do it.
Even when they never say that there's rain in the forecast.
Now, on the 1 or 2 random times that I have gotten my car washed and it has not rained in the next day, some sort of a fire hydrant has burst near my car and still shot water all over it. It is impossible for me to get any sort of a car wash and make it last for more than 24 hours. But usually what will happen is rain, unexpected rain, even if it's one of those random sprinkles that means nothing and just came and went. And sometimes it'll rain on my car and I'll go say to someone else that lives 3 miles away, like I'll be like, hey, did you feel any rain in Encino? And they're like, didn't rain here at all. I'm like, really? Because it downpoured for about 11 seconds.
It's just such a funny curse to have because it's really just a minor inconvenience. It's not anything that bad, but it is annoying enough for you to complain about.
Anyway, if you want the free car wash, that's good. We'll be hanging out. We're bringing tickets with us as well, and we'll be at the Rove and Recharge Market. It's going to be today, 11:30. We'll hightail it out of here after the show, and we'd love you to hang out, especially if you're in that Santa Ana area, since we don't go there too often. It'd be great to get together. And I did meet some people yesterday at Green Day that said they're going to be coming out to hit us up for free tickets to Slightly Stupid, and that'll be happening today. Details on our socials at Klein Alley Show. But with the rain in the future, in the forecast, it's even more of a reason why you probably want to take advantage of one of the greatest ideas that we heard about this week.
What's up, Klein and Alley? All right, I just got out of the shower, and damn it, I forgot my towel. But you know what was near? A tiny towel.
This guy is just even putting more proof on the fact that Vanessa's winning
people,
award,
baby.
Tiny towel for the win, and that's why she got the Lifetime Achievement Award for her suggestion earlier this week, the tiny towel.
And I used that tiny towel to dry myself off so that I can get my real towel. And it made me think to myself, I would love a Vanessa tiny towel with her face on it. And it would be used exactly what she said it would be used for. I'm not going to lie, she had a great suggestion for Towel of the Year Award.
That's not what it was. It was not the Towel of the Year Awards. It was the Lifetime Achievement Awards on the show.
And if
Vanessa,
we make them, it could be the Towel of the Year.
It could be the Towel of the Year. We may have to make an award. So this guy says, Vanessa, if we do print your face on the tiny towels, he will only use it to dry his body as you intended it be used.
I don't trust it.
This guy says he's not going to do anything mischievous.
You don't believe this random goat line caller?
No, I don't believe no guy listener.
You know, what's funny to me is that this man is a fan of our show enough to call the goat line and thinks that we spent 10 minutes doing a Towel of the Year award segment.
Right. Yeah, he half listens to the show. Right.
I mean, we should.
And if we're ever doing a Towel of the Year segment, just stop listening to the show.
Please give up on us.
Now, this guy also, Vanessa, says he would like to use one of your tiny towels as well, which is even more proof that we need to make these things immediately. And I will reach out to Shark Tank because they followed up with me to see how Paiwan is going. Not
They
great.
did.
And I'm going to tell them, forget this Paiwan crap. I'm coming back in there with the tiny load towels with Vanessa. And we're going to pitch on the tank.
And now, to pitch his idea for a tiny towel that can dry you when you can't find a regular towel.
And you can pitch it,
Klein.
right? You can pitch it for that random washcloth you have. That'll be great.
But these are the items.
What's that?
These are the things that go gangbusters, dude.
I know.
Like the best-selling item on Shark Tank is that stupid Scrub Daddy.
You're right.
Like the load towel is $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Let me
oh
hear
my
it.
gosh.
Vanessa, go ahead.
And now, here to talk about her tiny towel that's not used for your leavings after you masturbate, it's Vanessa.
You can go on Kids Shark Tank.
Tiny towel just to dry your body. Just to dry your body out after the shower. Buy it now.
And I'll be like, I'll be like Cuban. I'll say, and could you also use this for loads after sex?
you know what, Cuban? We're done with you. We're not going to make this tiny towel.
Hi, Mr. Wonderful here. I'm with Mark, and we can go in together if you double the size of the load towel.
Barbara Corcoran, I'm a squirter. I'd also like to use. I'd also like to use.
Rock show. Thank you.
Hi, I'm the guy with the weird eyes. I'm out.
So Vanessa, you're going to say you're out on the Sharks when they decide.
I'm out on the Sharks.
Hey, this guy would buy your product, though.
Yeah, hey, how's it going? I'm just calling to thank Vanessa. I just received one of her load towels in the mail. And I also wanted to let her know I've been using it so frequently the thing stands up on its lonesome.
All right.
It's amazing. I don't even have to fold it down. It just stands there and stares right at me, ready for collection. Anyways, thank you, Vanessa. Your load towel is unbelievable.
All right, so you already have a big fan.
Success.
Big success.
He can show up with you to the Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah, that can be one of those guys to demonstrate how good it is.
Yeah, the crusty towel right there,
All right.
front and center.
Vanessa's not happy about
Vanessa's so done
She's
with
asked
us.
us off the air and on the air to please stop mentioning it. But keep in mind, you brought it up in the Towel of the Year Awards. We didn't bring it up.
I didn't think about this scenario.
People ask, are there going to be tiny load towels available to dry the cars today at the Rove appearance?
No.
Yes. Let's get a prototype ready to go in the next few hours.
Oh, we could clean everyone's cars with the load towels.
If there's anything we do around here, it's make things quickly. You better believe it. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, this is exciting because we've never done this before this late, but we decided let's give some more people an opportunity to take Allie's money. It's a Pick Your Poison Friday round if Allie knows the news. If you've been paying any attention to what's going on in the world, let's go ahead and put your knowledge to the test. Perhaps you've never heard this before because usually we do this around 6:15 in the morning, and we decided let's give other people a chance to win Allie's money. Let's make it more fair for the general public. Call now, 800-520-1067. 5 questions about the news. How will you do going toe-to-toe
now that you're more awake
with that woman right there, or you can battle any single person on the show. It's a Pick Your Poison Friday. We'll come back and pay the people next.
Here's the lineup for the 3-day Ohana Fest at Doheny State Beach.
Ohana Festival founder Eddie Vedder making the call on this one himself.
Are you ready, Ohana? Are you ready?
Listen to KROQ at 9 noon, 3 and 6 to win 3-day passes to Ohana Fest, September 26th to 28th, Doheny State Beach, featuring Eddie Vedder and the Earthlings, Green Day, Hosier, Kings of Leon, Cage the Elephant. Garbage, Wet Leg, and more.
Hello, this is Ed Vedder.
Hey, this is Billy Joe from Green Day.
It's Matt Schultz from Cage the Elephant.
Hi, this is Shirley from Garbage. Listen to KROQ to win tickets to see us.
World Famous KROQ. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, it's KROQ Klein Alley Show. Every once in a while, even we outdo ourselves at KROQ, and I'm surprised. And yes, we're giving away a trip to Barcelona to see The Offspring. You'll have your first chance to get on that standby list in about 30 minutes. But right now, Deftones will be at the Kia Forum this Thursday, and one lucky winner will not only get a pair of tickets to that show, you will also get to meet the band, score a VIP merch bundle, and that will be some life-changing stuff. And we decided, because we're not all great singers on this show, Allie's a good singer. That's why she does the national anthems and stuff at the big events.
That's right. I just got rejected from another major sporting corporation.
No, did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Who rejected you?
Hockey.
Oh, the Kings?
Yeah.
They passed?
Oh, yeah. They said, send me a video of your last couple of performances, and I sent it, and then they said, sorry, we're all booked up.
Oh, man. That's crazy. I thought you were going to get it on that one.
Yeah, I think it's 2 years in a row now that I've been rejected, so maybe I'll keep the streak going.
Yeah, let's go. Meanwhile,
rejection is my only streak.
And that's a good voice you got. I mean, Allie actually has good pipes. Meanwhile, Vanessa has sung songs like this before on the radio.
I'm lost in this memories, leaving behind my own illusion. Lost.
Now, that was after she had some dental work done, so she was all numbed up. That was during Numb That Tune. But we decided, because we've got these Deftones tickets to give you, let's do something called Tone Deaf for Deftones. And the argument around here was that I and Vanessa are the two most tone-deaf people on the show. So today it's her time to sing, and she will attempt to do some songs. And if you figure out what song she's attempting to do, well, just like that, we'll write your name down. One of you will get yourself some tickets to go to the Deftones, and it could just possibly be the person that gets to meet the band. So, Vanessa, you decided to go into another studio and record these songs.
Yeah, because live I would have really sucked. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do the lyrics clearly.
Now, I want to point out that all of the songs that she got to pick from are currently on a list of the world's least favorite and most popular karaoke songs. So understand, when you go to any karaoke bar, you probably will hear people do these songs, and yet the general public hates these songs because they are overdone and they are done poorly.
And though they are probably songs that are familiar to you, they may be tougher to guess than you might imagine, simply because of the way Vanessa sings them. I did get a chance to preview them a little bit, and they are
terrible.
Good.
The only way I want to hear these songs from now on.
So, Colin, we'll start with you in Thousand Oaks. We'll give 4 people an opportunity to hopefully get the song correct that Vanessa is singing. And Colin, here we go. This is song number 1. It's Tone Deaf for Deftones. Here is your song.
I see a little stiletto of a man, Sharakushmushi, Sakaramushi. Okay, how do you even say that?
Hold on, Vanessa, hold on. Let him have a chance to get the song. Do you know
that fandango, Thunderbolt and Lily?
Any guesses?
Colin?
Oh, man. I have no idea.
Oh. Too
very,
bad.
very frightened me. Galileo, 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 Galileo. Figaro Magnifico, but I'm just a poor boy.
All right, well.
There's no breaks or pauses. It just keeps going.
I know the song. I know what song.
I just heard this on Friday night.
Yeah, because you were at a karaoke place. Yeah, and everyone says, "Oh, let's do some Bohemian Rhapsody. Let's go ahead and light the world on fire, recreate that fine scene from Wayne's World." But no one has ever performed it quite like this.
I see a little stiletto of a man, Sharakushmushi, Sakaramushi. Sarakushmushi. Do that fandango, Thunderbolt and Lily.
Do the fandango, everyone.
Very, very frightened me. Galileo, 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 Galileo. Figaro Magnifico, but I'm just a poor boy.
Okay, great.
Nobody loves me.
Oh.
He's just a poor boy. Poor family.
That's beautiful. All right, that guy got us wrong. Sorry, Colin. Moving on.
I like how you tried to do the other voice. He's just a poor boy.
Christina, you should know this. As we were doing Tone Deaf for Deftones, just by putting up with this, you very possibly could get some tickets to the Deftones. In fact, if no one gets theirs right, we'll just turn this into a caller 20 situation.
Great.
So we go down to...
No, I think we should just make Vanessa sing more songs until someone gets it.
Woodland Hills. Christina, did you know that first one while listening on hold or no?
Yes.
You did?
You did.
Okay.
All right. These are all songs that are on lists of songs that everyone hates hearing at karaoke, but we gave Vanessa a shot because she is one of the most tone-deaf people on the show. And song number 2 starts now. Here we go.
Nibbling on sponge cake. Watching the sun bake. All those stores covered with oil. Strumming my 6 strings on my forearm porch swing. Smell those shrimp there beginning to boil.
All right, Christina.
Yeah.
What song was Vanessa attempting to do there?
I have no idea.
Oh, man, that's not good. That's 0 for 2 to start. This one I actually know only because the lyrics are kind of well known. But let me hear, did she ever get to the good part of it? Or is that
Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my last shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, that was terrible.
All right.
I know it's nobody's fault.
You're just joining us. This is Tone Deaf for Deftones, proving that Vanessa truly is tone deaf. And those were two of the probably most iconic, most sung songs in the world, Margaritaville and Bohemian Rhapsody. And people that have heard those songs a million times are still going, I have no idea.
I know. So
Zero
We
idea.
got to make this even easier.
All right, we're going to make it easier then. We'll say hi to Colton in Pasadena. Colton, welcome to Tone Deaf for Deftones. Hopefully you win some tickets to see the Deftones on Thursday at the Kia Forum. Here we go. Colton, did you get the last one while on hold?
No, I got the first one.
All right, here we go.
This sounds so not good.
Here is your song. This is Vanessa, Tone Deaf for Deftones, and here we go.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a bling man. I'm sick of sight without a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me. This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me
Colton.
of what I really am. It's not you who say sorry.
All right.
I was waiting on a different story.
All right,
this
thank you.
time I'm mistaken for handling you a heart worth of breaking.
Colton. Please tell me you know that song.
Yeah. I do know that song.
Go ahead.
How You Remind Me by Nickelback.
There you go.
How You Remind Me by Nickelback.
That is, to be honest, one of the finest versions of that Nickelback song that anyone has ever heard.
I've been wrong. I've been down. Been to the bottom of every bottle.
Oh,
There's
man.
5 words in my head scream. Are we having fun yet?
No.
No.
I think we need a karaoke night.
No, we're not.
He said, "Are you having fun yet?" And then she goes,
Yeah. No.
Colton got his right. We'll give Melissa a chance. If Melissa gets hers as well, it'll be a 50-50. Once again, it's tone deaf for Deftones. This is the final song as performed by Vanessa.
"All right, here we go. Ready?"
Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime and never let go till we're gone.
All right, Melissa.
My heart will go on for you, Vanessa.
There you go.
Beautiful. Well done. It's a beautiful song. And Vanessa's...
Love was when I loved you. One true time I hold you.
I love it. She laughs in the middle of the song.
Man. All right, Allie.
So great.
2 got theirs correct. Melissa, Colton, pick one of the names at random, and we will determine who will be going to the Deftones.
All right, congrats to Melissa. You win.
Melissa! You're going to go see the Deftones Thursday night with Mars Volta, and your name is going to be written down here with a good chance we tell you you'll be meeting the band and getting a VIP merch bundle as well, all right?
Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
Thank you for starting it. Thank you, Vanessa. A little tone deaf for deaf. Oh, okay. Live on YouTube right now, as well as in your ears on KROQ, and perhaps you're listening to this after the fact on a podcast. But if you're listening live right now, good for you. You have a shot to win all sorts of stuff today. Ohana Fest tickets, some sold out Royal Otis at the Troubadour, and right now $100 of Allie's cash. We do this every morning, usually sometime around 6:20. But today we decided on a Friday, let's give more people a chance to get flush with cash for the weekend. It's a good weekend to have extra money because you got Cinco de Mayo weekend to look forward to. You got gambling on the ponies. You like to play the ponies for the Kentucky Derby. So let's go ahead and say hi to George, who's on the phone right now from Whittier. George, you'd like a shot at $100 of Allie's money. It's a Pick Your Poison Friday, so you can battle any single person on the show. Who would you like to go against?
I'll go against Jake.
Oh, Jake.
Ace!
Oh, no. It's the worst.
Pull the ace, you're done, son.
I don't think we should do Allie Knows the News.
Let's not do it. I'd like
just
to
a bad
not.
example.
Jake is the one guy that he always claims he's undefeated, he's unbeatable.
I am undefeated.
Well, we'll prove that wrong today. Here's some theme songs. This one I think was inspired by Allie, but here we go.
She'll tear your wedding dress with her dance moves. Let's find out if Allie knows the news. Do 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 do.
All right, George.
Let's get high.
Let's sequester Jake so he will not hear your questions. You get to go first, 5 questions. If you do better than Jake, Allie will give you $100 of her money.
And Jake has to do nothing different to sequester himself.
That's right. He just sits in that nerd hole at where he belongs. But let's go ahead and make sure he cannot. I'm going to cut the feed so he cannot hear this show. And George, your round of Allie Knows the News. The Jake battle starts right now.
Allie Knows the News.
All right, question 1. Thieves stole $30,000 worth of merchandise from this store that's probably in every single mall that's ever been built. $30,000 worth of merch from what store? This happened in San Bernardino County. Need a guess. 3, 2.
Okay. Macy's.
Macy's. Go to question 2. Trump would like to rename Veterans Day, and he would like to call it what? What is the name he is proposing for us to change Veterans Day to?
Orange Day.
Orange
Day?
Day? Yeah, he would like that. Question number 3. The Kentucky Derby's on Saturday. Currently, there's one horse that is the favorite. What is the name of the horse that is favored to win the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, that's a hard one.
That is a hard one, yeah. Not if you're a degenerate like me, but for a guy
Is
like
that the
you.
name of the horse? A hard one?
All right, that's a good name for a horse. So I'm going to put that down as your guess. Question 4. Nick Cannon has revealed that he's insured this part of his body for $10 million. What is Nick Cannon insured on his own body for $10 million?
That would be his chest.
His chest. And finally,
Wow, that was
question
gay.
number 5. Disney.
This beautiful chest.
Disney is in the news this morning because an LA man has admitted to stealing what from them? What did this man claim he stole from Disney?
Beer.
You know,
From Disney?
we thought if we did.
Hey, bring back our beer.
We thought if we did Allie Knows the News an hour later, we would get some people that were more aware of what was going on in the news.
I guess it's just same, doesn't matter the hour.
Doesn't seem to matter on a Friday morning. People have already checked out for the weekend. Let's bring Jake back into the fold, and let's see. George could still somehow win $100 of Allie's money. Let's bring in Jake. Jake, are you back?
It's the ace.
All right, Jake the Ace is battling to try to protect Allie's money. Keep in mind, Jake, if you lose or you throw the game, Allie will still have to pay this man with her own money.
Hey, dude, if I throw the game, you give me $50?
No.
Sure.
All right.
What? Guys,
George
no.
is in. George is in on the. That's fine.
All right,
Jake, play it
Jake's
how you want to play
desire
it.
to be right will win out. I know it.
Jake, question number 1. Thieves have stolen $30,000 worth of merch from this store that's probably at every mall that's ever been built. This particular robbery happened in San Bernardino County, but what store got hit for $30,000 worth of merch?
I saw this. Hang on, let me think.
Better think.
You got to
I'm
think.
on Sunglass Hut.
Correct answer.
Come on.
Allie's
It's not Sunglass Hut.
It is Sunglass Hut.
It is?
Yep.
Allie would have gotten
that wrong.
How do you steal $30,000 from Sunglass
That's a lot of Oakleys. We go to question number 2. And he's up 1-0, Jake is. And Jake is trying to keep his record intact. And I do believe that's the one reason he will not.
I knew it.
Even for $50. I would so easily give away any reputation I have for $50. Jake thinks he's worth more than that. We go to question number 2. Trump wants to rename Veterans Day. To what? What is the name he is proposing that we rename Veterans Day to? You're battling George on the phone right now for $50 of Allie's money. $100, excuse me. Go ahead, Jake.
Maybe since he renamed the Gulf of America, America Day. I don't know.
America Day. George played and guessed that it would be Orange Day, but he is saying that we should rename Veterans Day to Victory Day. He wants to rename Veterans Day to Victory Day to celebrate the victory of World War I.
I wonder what the veterans would think. I feel like they should get to choose.
I don't know anyone who loves renaming things more than this guy. I mean, he's just, everything's like,
He loves a rebrand.
Loves a rebrand. We go to, no one gets the point. We go to question number 3, and Jake is still in the lead by 1. Jake, this weekend is the Kentucky Derby. There's one horse that is the favorite of all the horses that will be running in the Kentucky Derby. What is the name of the horse that is currently the 3-1 favorite?
I don't know. I think wait, hold on, let me guess. Was that one Flaming Mohawk?
We did talk about
That
some
is
of
a
the
horse.
horses. That is a horse, but that is not the favorite. Journalism is the favorite to win the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, the name sucks.
3-1. The name's not great, but the horse apparently is. Go to question 4. Jake is still up by 1. Nick Cannon has revealed that he's insured this part of his body for $10 million.
Is that dude with all the kids?
Yes.
Yep.
He insured his testicles.
That is the correct answer.
The correct answer is even gayer than chest, which is what
And
he
George
said.
guessed chest. So now Jake's up 2 with only 1 question left, and I don't think there's a comeback in your future, George, but let's do this anyway. Question 5. Disney is in the news this morning because an L.A. man is... Oh, wow. Doesn't even let me finish. I mean, technically,
I knew it.
That's kind of wrong, though, because the question was, what did the man steal from them?
I guess like info, data.
Data, that's the answer. All right, George guessed beer. All right, George, you put in a decent effort. Oh, who's kidding? You put in a terrible effort, but you also did not win. And what must you shamefully admit over the airwaves? Go ahead.
Well, my name is George from Whittier, and Allie knows her news.
Yeah, Allie
Allie
does
owes me
know that.
$50.
Technically, Allie
No,
didn't
I
know
don't.
anything. She didn't even know about the Sunglass Hut one. But hold on, Jake remains undefeated, and that's a shame for us all.
Woo!
On K-Rock.
Your blades are sharpened.
congratulations to Green Day for that big star you received yesterday on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It was great to be up there. Tons and tons of people, thousands of people blocked off the streets. And I was thinking about the people that live above Amoeba. You know, you move to Southern California or you grew up here. I always wonder if that is a pro, a big plus or a minus to live above.
I'm sure if you live there, you want to live there.
Yeah,
and
but
it's a pro.
It's cool when it's like Green Day, if you're a fan of Green Day, because you get to basically sit on the balcony of your own apartment and watch this cool star dedication, all these celebrities showing up on the days where it's someone you don't care about. It's got to just be annoying. But also,
yeah, but
I
if
don't
it's
think
people you don't care about and that generally people don't care about, it's not like there's that big of a crowd.
A couple of funny things that happened yesterday, and then we'll listen to some of the audio. Some of the speeches were pretty nice. Billy Joe Armstrong, it's interesting because a lot of people say the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is not really a real award. It's not like winning a Grammy. I mean, all awards are kind of made up, right? For the most part.
I think a Walk of Fame star is a good flex.
I think it meant a lot. Let's just say if you grew up in L.A., like I remember Flea got real emotional about it because he's like, I used to panhandle on this street.
Right.
So to sit here and beg for change and smoke weed on this, and look at all these stars and think I could never imagine that would ever be me. And then to see, my band right there on the very same street, there's some full circle stuff about it. You got this interesting moment here, which this Billy talking about how important it is to his mother.
Yeah, this is for my mom. This is like my mom's Super Bowl right now. But yeah, this is kind of like being at your own funeral. And
I was thinking about that too, a lot of it, because you have all these people saying wonderful things about this band and how much they've accomplished and how much they're loved.
Which there was 25 minutes of that before they took to the stage and actually gave a statement.
And they just get to sit there and watch all these people gush on the band. And it is.
What happened to Serena Williams, by the way?
She does
I
a
don't
no-show.
know. She didn't show up, but Flavor Flav did. That was cool.
Yeah, they got the other black person, huh?
That's right. We got to go ahead.
Wait, get another black person. What about Flavor Flav? That's definitely like a white person suggestion.
You know what Flav said to me was that was actually his second star dedication he's been at in the last month. He was also at the Billie Jean King one as well.
He was?
So I guess
he's really big into women's sports, though, and helping promote that.
Maybe. Or they just we need a black guy in the front row. Get Flav quickly here. It's going to look bad.
Well, posting stuff about this, which was a great event, and it was cool to see a lot of fans there that were, diehard Green Day fans from day one. People had brought, this is my Green Day lunchbox from when I was 11 years old, and this is a Post-it that I drew about the lyrics to this Green Day song. I mean, it was incredible. But posting about, some of the people that were there, like Ryan Reynolds and Flava Flav, people were just commenting, why is Ryan Reynolds there?
Well, he explained that, when he decided to use one of the Green Day songs in the soundtrack to his movie, he takes his movies very seriously and that the soundtracks are the most important part. And he was told this he gave a very long speech, but he was basically talking about how
I saw the paper and I was like, oh, there's a lot on that paper.
I know. At some point, it's cool. At some point, you're like, let's move it along. Let's get to the band. But he was basically saying how the Green Day music, was so inspirational to Deadpool movies and behind the scenes stuff that we didn't realize about. And then when he brought Billy out to see his soccer team that he owns, Wrexham, he realized that they embraced him and they don't embrace anyone. He basically said that town hates everyone. And when they embraced Billy, he realized that Billy must have a good heart because they're able to sniff out fakeness.
I couldn't
pretty
hear or
quickly.
see any of that because a lady stood in front of me.
Allie had a great seat in theory. She was front row at the star dedication, and she even claimed that of all the weird things that happened in this town, this was the coolest thing ever to get to go see Green Day get a star, be
it was
up
super
front,
cool.
Have seats, even in front of some of the members of Green Day, because they've got other guys that play guitar with them on the road. It's not just the three guys; they're the three main ones, but they've got other guitarists. Kevin's one of their guitarists who's a fan of the show, and actually asked us for some of our Klein Alley Show diapers because he's having a kid soon. Congratulations. But Allie got a great seat front row. She didn't realize that her seat would be not only next to the tree that's been urinated on by every dog that's ever walked through Hollywood.
It's so pungent.
But also that she would be the seat that would be blocked by the woman.
Lady from the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, who was basically flanking the stage. So every time something cool was about to happen, this woman would basically post up right in front of Allie, blocking her entire view.
Oh, that's the butt I saw?
Yeah, that was the woman's butt.
So, and she had her phone on ring mode, so she was getting phone calls constantly.
It was great.
That were all I was able to hear every single one of the phone calls, but not anything Ryan Reynolds was saying.
But to me, the highlight, I'll play some of these other speeches because these were nice as well. But to me, the highlight was Postmaster Johnny really had one job. He was out there to make sure that he was able to get a nice, clean video of them actually lifting up the protective barrier to reveal the star. It's like the one shot you want. It's like in certain things, there's a certain shot that you call, quote, the money shot, right? And if it's New Year's Eve, the money shot is when that ball finally touches down and it's like, happy 2025. At the star dedication, the money shot is where the band is all gathered around and they lift up the big fake star to reveal
The
it
real
says Green
star.
Day.
Yeah, and there is a million cameras there, which I don't know why we still have 1 million cameras for all of these events, but there's so many people taking so many photos and video.
Now, Johnny's got a seat that would give him a good angle at it, but he decides he wants to move to get an even better view. So he gets up and walks all the way over to kind of the other side of where the big unveil is about to happen. And Johnny's is an important job because not only is Johnny getting this for our show, he's getting it for KROQ and he's getting it for all of the rock stations that are under the, quote, Odyssey umbrella. So a lot of people need this footage. And Johnny...
Not only does he not have a legitimate camera, he's just using his phone, which I get it, but he also has an advantage because he is taller than everybody else in that area.
And I see him make his way over there, and the big thing happens, and I say, Johnny, you get some good stuff? He goes, I think I did. And then he shows me what he got. And it's a shot of a man's head.
You have to see it on the KROQ Instagram. It is hilarious.
I kind of got it, dude. The band gathers around the star.
Kind of got it.
And then they go, and now the big Green Day star, and all you see is a man's head. Johnny basically got a head reveal.
Dude, this guy literally stood up at the worst time. My arms were all the way fully extended up. I have a huge wingspan. I'm 6'4". My arms were fully extended all the way up, and I had the perfect vantage point. All of a sudden, this dude with like a bald spot crown stands up, and this dude's bald spot head literally eclipses the star.
It's in the star. It looks like Billy Joe Armstrong is kissing that man's head.
Every moment, everything that's happening on the star that would be the shot you want, all you get is a bald guy's head. And I think to Johnny goes, what do you think? I go, well, you got the guy's head, but there's no star here. He goes, well, the star's in front of the guy's head. I go, yeah, but as far as what the shot...
No one can see it.
The shot that everyone wants is that big, the big reveal of here it is, forever in the streets of Hollywood. It says Green Day, and it's just a bald guy's head.
I want to see Trey dry hump the head.
I know.
He did. I got a shot of that.
Yeah,
that's up there.
Trey Cool dry humped the star, and then he said, no one's ever done that.
Yep, he dry humped his star on the Hollywood, but it was just so funny that now and they had to release this, all they had. So if you look at every radio station pretty much around the country,
used it.
It's Johnny's footage of just this guy's bald head and not the star, which is so funny. Here's what Trey had to say.
But
I think
I don't know what the I'm going to say.
Thanks again to everyone who's put a needle on a Green Day record or clicked a mouse and listened and come to a Green Day show or took a dump on a star on the Walk of Fame.
He kept trying to he really wants someone to make Dookie on Dookie like we talked about on the show yesterday, and I think he's the only one in the band that wants that to happen, because whenever we were talking to the other guys like Mike or Billy, they're like, man, they could just look at the star.
Yeah, but
they don't have to go poop on it.
It's funny because Trey made a joke about that, and Ryan Reynolds made a joke about urinating on it, and the lady from the Chamber of Commerce turned to me and was like, everyone makes a joke about it.
Right.
She's like so pissed because everyone makes a joke about peeing.
Because Hollywood Boulevard is a pretty filthy street, and then they have these big ceremonies that look all nice and sanitized and clean.
No, she's
and then
like, everyone has to come.
But that's the reality.
And I want to say something about Matt Pinfield. Is this guy, his knowledge of music.
Matt Pinfield was the MC of the event, and he's been through a lot of health stuff over the past few months, years even. I mean, the guy got hit by a truck, and then he had some other stuff going on, and we were on the air talking about it. We didn't think he was going to... They said that he was pretty much I thought he was on death watch for like 48 hours or something.
That was a highlight for me.
Yeah.
That he was there, and everyone gave him a standing ovation, and everyone was super complimentary, including the band.
So it's great to see all the love for Matt Pinfield.
And his history of rock and roll... You can't compare it to anything else. He knows everything. He's a true music lover, and thank you for coming out and doing this. We love you so much, Matt. And
so it was a big love fest for Green Day. Congratulations, guys! What an event! A lot of socials up there. You can check it out on our Instagram at Klein.
A lot of socials with heads in front of it.
You can see if you want to see what the big bald head looks like that we all gathered around for. It's up on our Klein Alley show. You can see that. Some of Johnny's finest work. We'll take a super quick break. When we get back, your ADD news. Tickets to some sold-out Royal Otis at the Troubadour and your Ohana Fest tickets not too far away this morning right here, KROQ.
Klein Alley Show. The world famous Klein Alley Show. KROQ.
You know, I'm on board for most things we do on the show, even if it makes me look like a total ass. But in this particular case, I'm not that excited that I was selected as one of the 2 most tone-deaf people on the show. Not that I care about being a good singer. I didn't go to school for singing like Allie did.
I also didn't go to school for singing.
I thought you went to musical theater school.
I went to acting school.
Oh, really?
I didn't get into musical theater school.
Oh. Well, anyway, and I know Jake thinks he's like the star of every karaoke bar he goes into because he's got his go-to songs, and he is the lead singer technically of the short-lived band Rip Nasty.
Yeah, but I think Jake always sings obscure songs at karaoke that no one really cares about.
Right. But no one would know if it's good or bad because no one's heard the song before. Because
Exactly.
it's the side project of the cousin of the guy in A Perfect Circle or
That's
something.
a good band.
Right. And then you got, Omar, who's clearly musically inclined because we all heard how he slayed the clarinet during Forced Resolution. So you're down, and Johnny's a musician, plays guitar. So really, just process of elimination.
You're the least musical out of all of us.
Well, I think we'll prove you wrong in a few moments when you hear me attempt to sing songs. Most of these songs I had never even heard before. Most of the ones you told me.
These are not just KROQ songs. We wanted to go beyond that.
I don't think any of them are KROQ songs.
We chose top 40 #1 songs that have been nominated for Grammys, songs that people are obsessed with right now.
So we call this thing Tone Deaf for Deftones, up for grabs, pretty sweet prize. You will get to go see the Deftones at the Kia Forum this Thursday, and one person who wins tickets from us, and I believe today is the last pair. People won them all weekend, and we gave a pair away yesterday, a couple pairs we got today. Did we have 2 pairs today, Vanessa, to give out?
Yes, 2 pairs.
Oh, even
Nice.
better. Wow. The plot thickens. 2 pairs of tickets.
We can do this again next hour.
Oh, goddamn. I don't think you're going to want that. You'll also get a chance to meet the band, score some VIP merch as well. So it's time for Tone Deaf for Deftones.
How was your process of learning these songs and then singing them?
Well, I listened to the songs a few times yesterday, and my kids, for the first time ever, respected me because they're like, I love that song.
Oh, see, you're getting into their interest.
I don't want to say what it is. I don't want to give anything away. And still, I feel like I have no connection to the music. But you'll hear in a moment. And let's go ahead and say hi to Camille. We'll get to go first on KROQ. And Camille, hey, good morning and apologies in advance, Camille.
Hi, good morning.
All right.
It's okay.
I'm going to play you some of the song, and all you have to do is tell us, even though I am tone deaf, what song I am attempting to sing. If you get yours right, Allie will write your name down, and everyone who gets theirs right will be in the drawing to win some tickets to see the Deftones. Here we go. Song number 1. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Can you guys not laugh? Hold on. Can
Oh, no, let him finish.
Hold on.
Let him finish.
No, we don't need to hear anymore. She already guessed.
No, come on.
Hold on. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee.
Are you doing a Dracula impression?
I know. Why are you lowering your voice? It's already so much lower than hers.
I thought
Is that because she's gay? I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee.
I thought that's how it goes.
This is
All right, relax.
She sees the baby girl.
I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Here, Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club, oh mama. Camille, congratulations. You were able to figure out my tone deaf singing, and you did
Let's play
guess.
a little of the original so you can get kind of like an A and B. Let's.
I'm having wicked dreams.
Same.
I'm leaving Tennessee. You Santa Monica. I swear it's calling me.
All right, pretty good.
Dude,
I like that you do jazz hands when you get to the top note.
You can't tell the difference. I mean, I know, like, most people that have heard her version, that's the one they know. But if you were to play this to people in the streets, they would think that's her.
Oh, mama.
Who is that, by the way? Who's singing that?
Huh?
Who is that?
What?
Chappell Roan?
Oh, thank you. Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, good job.
You knew
Hold on.
that. Come on.
I know. I thought that was the. I don't want to say who I thought it was because I have a song coming up from the
I
other
see.
person.
You're getting them all mixed up.
I get them all confused. All right, hold on. Well, this is going to be painful.
It's a pure joy.
I just want to say that if you remember yesterday, Vanessa did Tone Deaf for Deftones, and I thought she was way more tone deaf than me.
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yep. 100. I wasn't sure, but after hearing that, yes, I'm 100% certain that you're actually tone deaf. I just don't know if you know any of the notes that exist.
in music, period.
Or otherwise.
Let me say hi to Rigo in El Monte. Hey, Rigo, good morning. Welcome to KROQ. Chance for you to win some Deftones tickets, but we're not making it easy for you. How goes it?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you.
All right. Did you know the first song by chance? Not that it matters.
I did, and I thought we were going to be guessing Deftones songs. I was like, I got this, but
that would make sense.
That would make sense. I would have much rather sung Deftones songs, especially because people think I look like the front man in the Deftones. Some people have said that before. It's one of my celebrity doppelgangers. All right, here we go. Song number 2. It's Tone Deaf for Deftones. Apologies in advance. Here we go. Well, I'm gonna paint my picture. Paint myself in blue and red and black and gray. All of these beautiful colors are very, very meaningful.
I don't even know what the hell. What?
Rigo? Any guesses?
What the hell?
Any guesses? Rigo.
What happened to Dracula?
I changed it up. I was not inspired.
wow, oh my God, I've never heard that song.
Yeah, well, you know that gray is my favorite color. I felt so symbolic yesterday. If I knew Picasso, I would buy myself a gray guitar and play.
I don't know, is that Taylor Swift?
It's
a good guess.
Taylor Swift. No, it is not. I'm so sorry, Rigo. That was
very
supposed to be
poetic.
singing.
Yeah, it was singing.
I think you're just yelling.
You're like talk.
That was singing.
I would buy a guitar and I would play.
Well, it's called Tone Deaf for Deftones.
It
And now you're
sounds like
making fun
slam poetry a little bit. Yeah.
Slam
You're a
poetry.
hip cat.
Symbolic. I felt symbolic yesterday. I would buy Picasso. Hey.
If I knew Picasso, I would buy myself a gray guitar and play. Mr. Jones and me look into the future. That's Counting Crows.
What?
That's Counting Crows. Yeah, we stare at the beautiful women. She's looking at you. I don't think so. She's looking at me.
Whoa.
You're a fan of this band, and you don't even know how it really goes.
That is how it goes.
But now that I know it's them, I can hear your passion.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you like the song.
Yeah, play.
I'm going to play a little snippet of it.
All right, thank you. It's same song. And me. Well, it's something.
Okay, you don't have any of those notes, man.
Oh my God.
That guy's the lead singer. I'm not. So he's not playing Tone
Yeah,
Deaf
but
for
even the
Deftones.
cadence could have been right.
Seriously. Even the rhythm of
It sounded like a David Bowie song.
it. Look.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. David Bowie's great. Tony, Costa Mesa. Deftones on the line. Tone Deaf for Deftones. You ready for your next one?
Got it. Let's do it.
People on the text line did get that.
I know.
Mr. Jones by Counting Crows.
I'm watching the text line. People say this is the best Klein's ever sounded, which is also not saying much.
I know the songs that you're singing, and I still couldn't guess the song.
All right, well, let's try this one then. These are hit songs according to Allie. This is hold on, we lost Tony. Hold on, let me say hi to Ivan. We'll give Tony a chance next if his phone gets better. Hey, Ivan, Long Beach, you ready to go?
I am.
All right, here we go. Here's your next song. It's Tone Deaf. Apologies in advance. Tone Deaf for Deftones. This is apparently a very popular song. Here we go. Well, good for you. I guess that you've been working on yourself. I guess that therapist I found for you, she really helped. Now you can be a better man for your brand new girl. KROQ, we are Klein Alley's show. We'll get your ADD news, and we can kick off a brand new hour of the show. We'll have some Royal Otis tickets for you, sold-out show at the Troubadour. If you can tell the difference between a horse that's running in the Kentucky Derby this weekend or one of Jake's stupid bands that he's always talking about that no one's heard of because of a side project of a side project of a side project, and sometimes he goes to shows that have 11 people in the audience. But he claims that these bands are the coolest bands on the planet, and we'll get to that game coming up next hour for a chance for you to win some amazing tickets on KROQ. Right now, though, let's find out what's going on in the world.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
It's fair to say neither of us is in a position to judge other people's relationships. Ours are judged harshly every day, and I would say we probably deserve it. But legendary NFL coach Bill Belichick's relationship...
Oh, man, this thing is every day.
Oof, it is growing every day, this story. They have a 49-year age gap in their relationship. She is 24 years old. Her name is Jordan. It's been the story of the week. It's just getting crazier. It all started when Bill did an interview on CBS, and he was asked about his relationship. And
that was an interesting thing because she clearly doesn't like the fact that everyone is just assuming because she's 24 and he's old and rich that she's only with him for his money. And that's always going to be the argument that gets made when someone is dating a man that's 50 years older than her.
Well, it's not his personality.
That's the thing. He's
Right?
such an unlikable, grumpy guy, and he's always been so hateable in every way that you would have to say his personality does seem. I mean, he is a real curmudgeon and has been for a long time.
It seems like it would not be fun to just hang out with him casually.
But there is a level of success, not without Brady, but with Brady, he had a level of success, and you would think that maybe there's something about that women have the ability to somehow look past physical stuff and personality stuff because if they like to be around some guy that's got success and drive,
Well,
he's going to
and
be the new coach at North Carolina football.
Sure. And it seems like she had been a fan of his for a while because they met 4 years ago at a book signing of his, and she showed up to the book signing. She's 20 years old, and he signed her book, and I guess they had a conversation because he wrote on the inside of her book, like, thanks for lecturing me, like giving me a lecture on some topic, and then signed his name. And so they had some kind of connection 4 years ago when she was even younger. Now, this is what has led to the story this week. He was asked about how they met, and then she just kind of jumped in, interrupted the interview, and shut down the line of questioning.
How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
And I think it's his no that's so telling because he's like, no. And then she's like, no. Shut it down. And she has been very vocal. Yeah, totally whipped, right? So then there was all these theories about how controlling she is, and then his daughter-in-law started kind of throwing some shade at her on social media. She's been very vocally defending herself. There were all these theories. Megyn Kelly came out of left field with an angle about elder abuse.
She's abusing him?
Yeah,
wow.
She's abusing him. Then he put out a statement that was a very weird formal statement. It was like, the expectation was not honored during the interview, and I was surprised when unrelated topics to football were introduced. And David Portnoy of Barstool is like, I've been following this guy for years. There's 0% chance that he wrote this. It was absolutely written by his girlfriend.
Right.
Because he would never say something like this. And then on Inside the NFL, they were talking about it, and Ryan Clark walked off the set in the middle of the segment talking about it. So clearly there's some weirdness here or things that are not being said, and everyone's just very curious and speculative.
I'm going to give this relationship, we should all put in some wagers because I don't think this is going to last. And I actually think this thing's got about a week left in it because it's leading to so many stories. Everyone's gotten so obsessed with it.
So bad.
And
but she just looks like a giant
It's funny to me because he's always been the hateable one. To be more hateable than Bill Belichick in a room of two people is very hard to do.
This chick is hot?
Very.
Yeah, but you could... Seeing her on the side of the interview, she looks mean and angry.
She does look angry. She's got the full-on RBF.
Totally. And as somebody who's been accused of having RBF,
you
I
do.
get it.
You do as well.
I do have that.
Really
and
big face?
Allie has really big face.
I don't have really big faced. I have resting bitch face, Jake.
Get it straight, Jake. Get
you
your
can see it
acronyms
live
right.
on the YouTube stream.
Okay, five-head.
All right, relax. Allie's not dating Belichick. She wishes.
I wish. All right, no one is safe from hackers anymore, whether you are a person living on minimum wage or a multi-billion-dollar company. And a man from L.A. has admitted to hacking Disney. He hacked a bunch of different people, actually, but he was able to access the computer of a Disney employee and get their stored login credentials, and he was able to steal 1 terabyte of private data, including Slack channels that are used by employees and all kinds of different professional accounts, etc. So I would imagine that this guy's going to be going to jail and so on and so forth. But what a flex. I feel like a lot of hackers choose to remain anonymous, but when you have a really good hack, are you the guy who's like, yeah, that was me?
But Allie, the question is, what do you do? So you steal data from Disney, and then what do you do with that data? How do you profit off
Sell
that?
it.
Or you sell the data to other companies?
You
'Cause I
sell
don't-
it on the dark web to
Oh,
anybody
got it.
who wants it.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
then they can use it for ransomware and all kinds of other things. Data
See,
is priceless online.
I don't think big enough because in my mind, I'm like, man, if I was able to hack into Disney, I would just give myself Genie Plus.
Oh my
on
God!
ticket.
It's so funny because I was like, and then you logged in and what? Gave yourself like
Right.
all.
That's all I would do. Like, I don't think big enough. Like, this guy's thinking I can steal
I'm like, I
data
get
and
free
sell it.
Disney Plus with Hulu without
Right.
ads.
And I'm like, how could I figure out a way to not stand in line ever again? That's for me. That would be nothing better than that.
I know.
But
Oh.
apparently, that guy's a smarter man than we are.
Yeah. All right, 66 million years ago, dinosaurs roamed the earth. And now we have been trying to bring them back. Some people are trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. The woolly mouse was created recently. But now another company says that they have not succeeded in bringing back the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but they have succeeded in bringing back its skin. And they now are announcing that they have created T-Rex leather that you can potentially use to make bags, jackets, shoes, all kinds of things. So the question is, a lot of people aren't wearing leather anymore because it's a statement that's like,
Right, killing animals.
yeah, exactly, killing animals. But would you feel bad about wearing T-Rex leather?
In some ways,
because
it's much
they're
worse.
already dead.
You're wearing the leather of an extinct animal, but it was also created and manufactured. And I think that is a flex. I
Sounds
bet,
badass.
I bet you will see a lot of that at the Met. What's that thing everyone dresses up at? The Met Gala.
What's it look like?
Yeah.
You're going to see Bella Hadid in like
Yeah.
a Tyrannosaurus Rex head.
Who made those shoes? It was a Velociraptor. Thank you for asking. All right, we'll get into a brand new hour of the show. The second this Weezer song is done, I'll get you some tickets to a sold-out show, Troubadour.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Good morning.
Thank God it's Friday.
Welcome to your weekend. We are Klein Alley Show just after 8 o'clock. This is the hour you will get yourself into Troubadour for some sold out Royal Otis. They were in the KROQ studios yesterday, sitting right, I think, in those two seats right over there. A little performance that took place live on the air. You never know what will happen. We were in the heart of Hollywood. Congratulations again to Green Day for that big star and everyone who came out. Good times hanging with the listeners. Today we'll have another chance. Omar says you want to get that car washed right before the rain comes. It's like cleaning your house before the cleaning lady comes over. You don't want her to judge you. You got to get that car washed before the rain comes and washes it. First 100 people to show up get a free car wash. Some people say they just want to come out anyway. You don't need to have an electric car. We will be at Rove charging. If you do have an electric car, charge up. You can also charge your body up. There'll be hamburgers and hot dogs cooked up by Gelson's. It'll be a good time. We'll be there 11:30 to 1:30-ish, and that'll be happening in Santa Ana after the show today. This hour, also, we will figure out if it's a horse racing this weekend in the Kentucky Derby or one of the bands that Jake's always trying to tell us about that we're not paying any attention to him.
This idea was birthed during our Showtime episode.
So if you listen to the Showtime
earlier
podcast, you may have an advantage to win this game. That'll be coming up later this hour. So Allie had one of the most uncomfortable drives of her life yesterday.
Well, I called you on the way home from the Green Day thing because I had a very important question.
Yeah, it was a weird question, and apparently even a weirder commute that took place afterwards. I was not involved, but we'll hear all the details after this one on KROQ. we are KROQ. This is Klein Alley Show. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. If you're listening to us on the radio, we appreciate you as well. In a few moments, we'll tell you to give us a call, 800-520-1067, so that you can play for winning your way into the Troubadour sold-out show with Royal Otis. That's happening, when is that? Early next week. That is happening. Hold on, I got the date here somewhere.
For Royal Otis?
May 5th.
Yeah, I think that's...
Cinco de Mayo, Monday. Cinco de Mayo, you'll get to go see Royal Otis. Nothing says Cinco de Mayo more than Royal Otis.
And two white guys from Australia.
At the Troubadour. That is what you want. An authentic Cinco de Mayo celebration at the Troubadour.
So I called Klein on my way home after the Hollywood Star dedication ceremony because I had a question for him that I thought Klein could be the one to properly answer, and it was a tip-related question.
So funny the way you set it up, too. You're like, hey, first of all, you called, which is always kind of weird, because usually if it's something...
I never call.
It's usually a text, so I thought it was something serious. You're like, I have something I have to ask you. And at that point, I'm like, oh, my God, Allie's in love with me. That's crazy. I know we spent a lot of time together, but she's like about to say she wants...
I've had these feelings for 10 years.
And the question was so underwhelming, but I was not surprised it came from you.
Well, I had to get a tow truck because my car completely shut down on me. And by the way, my car is the oldest Tesla. It's the oldest one. It was, I think, the first one ever made. So it's a true science experiment to see just how this car goes out. I mean, it's a question on a lot of Tesla owners' mind. What is going to happen to the longevity of this car? Because we really just don't know. So I was getting all these weird alerts. Then it was saying that it had low battery, that it wasn't going to restart. Then it just started shutting down, like powering down like a computer. It was, dead, done.
It wouldn't let you go over a certain mile. You said it started cutting you back if you tried to go over 40 miles an hour.
Yeah,
the car
it
just
started
refused.
saying, we're going to limit your miles per hour.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh my God. And then once I got home, it just completely shut down. By the end, I wasn't even able to open the door. That's how shut down it was. So I was like, okay, I guess I got to get my car serviced. And I called them and I said, I need a service appointment. They said, okay, here's the date. I said, okay, how do I get my car there? And they said, you figure that out yourself.
Oh, man.
And we only work with certain tow companies that are approved by us. And here are some quotes. Good luck. Now, the quotes were very expensive. And mind you, the Tesla place is probably about 10 or 15-minute drive from where I live.
I was going to say, of all the groups, all the friends you should have in your friend group, if you can make friends with one guy that owns a tow truck.
Good luck with that, because they are mean and pissed off.
Well, you don't have AAA?
No, Omar, I'm super cheap.
AAA,
AAA saves your life.
Well, I also was on a time crunch because
they
said if you
pays you to get them.
It's crazy and expensive.
Yeah, but they send me all that mail about my free membership, and I said it's just trash.
I feel like I've canceled AAA and had to pay more than when I had it. I'm telling you, Omar's right. I think it's like $1.
It's great.
$1 for like every 5 years.
Not only do I not have AAA, I don't even have the extra insurance for roadside on my regular insurance. So I've got nothing. I've got
That's
no
just like
coverage.
$5, like a one-time fee of $5.
This is where El Cheapo gets in her own way because she, in her goal to be cheap and spend nothing, ends up costing herself so much more.
No, because think of all the money I've saved over the years of not having any of these services, and I've needed a tow truck once, and it was yesterday.
Well, I know how much you paid because you told me on the phone, and it's more than I've paid my entire life for AAA. I'll tell you that right now. Not even a question. Not even close.
Well, but also AAA, I don't know if they would be able to get one of the, quote, Tesla-approved tow companies to get out there and do it. They send their people.
That's BS.
Yeah, but this
Tesla
guy that
approved.
showed up, he was able to do something to this car to turn it on again and get it moving so that he could get it on the tow truck. A lot of people can't do that, apparently. But anyway, the guy was not friendly whatsoever. And I also had to, unfortunately, ask, can I drive with you to the Tesla place? Because I had no way to get there.
Well, you could have taken an Uber by yourself.
Why would I pay more money than what I was already paying?
Well, you're not allowed to sit in your car in the back while it gets towed, so that means you
That
have to
would have been way more fun.
Right, that means you have to sit up front with him.
So I said, do you mind if I sit with you? And he was like,
I sure do.
Okay. He's like an old Russian guy. He was like, wait, come on in. And by the way, nobody looks good getting in and out of a tow truck. It is one of the more embarrassing vehicles to get in and out of. I did fall when I was getting out of it. But when you get into somebody's truck, it feels like you're in their personal home.
Of course.
Like it's
Probably
their
his
smells,
snacks.
it's their stuff. Yeah, exactly. It was super awkward.
Anytime
and they're just going about their day. They don't want to make random conversation with some stupid white lesbian.
Anytime you unexpectedly have someone that comes in your car, there's a real moment of feeling like I'm about to be judged for how I keep my car and how I live
Yes, it's like
my
you don't
life.
have pants on. You're
Right.
like, excuse me.
There's a lot of apologies. Sorry about all those bottles by your feet. Don't
Yes.
pay attention to that stain on the seatbelt.
So I was trying to make conversation. He was shutting it down, and about 10 minutes into the drive, as we're getting close, he was like, "How you want to pay?" And I was like, whatever. What's your process? And he goes, "I'll have my woman text you a phone number. You call this phone number and pay it on Venmo." And
Right.
so it was very shady. This woman texts me her Venmo, and I have sent a Venmo for $275 to someone who calls herself the Towing Queen.
Oh, cool.
And I'm
The
wondering,
Onion Queen meets the Towing Queen?
Yes.
What a power couple.
And it wouldn't even let me pay her because there's some weird flag on her Venmo that's not allowing her to receive payments because this is so shady. I had to then use another form of payment and talk to her on the phone to get money to her. But the question I asked you was, do I tip for this tow?
Yeah, because Allie universally does not. Let's come up with reasons to not tip. And I explained to her in this particular case the answer.
I just wanted your blessing.
Yeah, and I knew what you were going to do, which was no. Your thought going into it was it's so expensive, there's no tip, and the guy seemed like he was a dick to you.
He was not nice. So it was like, okay, if somebody was doing me a solid and somebody was really overly friendly and helpful, help me get all my stuff in and out of the tow truck, which he did not. I was dragging my kid's car seat out of the truck. How long was the ride? 10 to 15 minutes.
And he had to have conversation with you?
Yes.
No, you should have tipped.
No.
I didn't realize he had to have conversation with you.
Wait, you didn't tip?
Klein told me not to.
Well,
Klein,
what I
you
said,
got to float him a 20 at least.
Okay, that's the number I said to Allie. I said,
You
now,
said that's only if they are giving you some kind of a deal
I
or
said-
if they're showing up at a weird time or
But
doing
he's doing
something.
doing you a solid, giving you a ride.
Well, I didn't realize that when you asked me the question, you did not mention you were going to ask for a free ride over to the place with him. That I didn't realize. You didn't mention that part. You mentioned it's almost $300 for him to pick up my car. Do I have to tip him? I go, is he saving you? Is he helping you? Is he being nice? You said, no. I said, is he cutting you a deal at all? Is he saying that? You
Not
said
a
no.
deal at all. They probably doubled the price.
I've tipped tow guys in the past many times, but usually it's like, hey, can you drop, like they're about to tow my car. I say, please drop it. What do you need for just to not tow it? And they go like $50. I go, great. And I'll throw them like a little more on top.
Yeah, that was
I've
not
done.
this situation.
Right.
This
Well-
was just nope, here's the price. It's a lot of money. And this guy is, not friendly. He's dropping me off. He's doing exactly what he's being paid to do. So that was my question. And you answered it and I didn't tip him. And now I feel like an a-hole.
310 said you should have tipped him orally.
I'd rather tip the Towing Queen orally.
Yeah, I bet you,
I saw her Venmo picture.
Here's the lineup for the 3-day Ohana Fest at Doheny State Beach.
Ohana Festival founder Eddie Vedder making the call on this one himself.
Are you ready, Ohana?
Listen to KROQ at 9 noon, 3 and 6 to win 3-day passes to Ohana Fest, September 26th to 28th. Doheny State Beach, featuring Eddie Vedder and the Earthquakes, Green Day, Hosier, Kings of Leon, Cage the Elephant. Garbage, Wet Leg, and more.
Hello, this is Ed Vedder.
Hey, this is Billy Joe from Green Day. It's Matt Schultz from Cage the Elephant.
Hi, this is Shirley from Garbage.
Listen to KROQ to win tickets to see us.
World Famous KROQ. Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, I'm not sure what this is right now.
The same. It sounds like you're singing from a musical.
Well, good for you. You look happy and healthy. Not me, if you ever cared to ask.
No, I have no idea what this is, you guys. I'm sorry.
It sounds like you're doing a terrible version of Adam Sandler's Opera Man on SNL.
I told you guys.
You've been working on yourself.
I told you.
Someone else.
I didn't want to do it. This apparently Allie says this is a big song. Good for you. You're doing great out without me, baby. God, I wish that I could do that. All right. I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
That's Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, well, that guy doesn't.
That's on.
Oh, yeah.
But the way you did it, you couldn't recognize it. Oh,
It's pretty good the way I did it, too, though. It's not my favorite.
My new
Not
dream.
me, if you ever cared to ask. Good for you. You're doing great out without me, baby. So you play hers now. It's all the same. What?
I was like, oh.
God,
Girl. My new dream is to meet these artists just so I can play these tracks for them.
All right, well, we only have one more, and I think only one person's gotten theirs right.
By the way, next time we do this, you guys got to find some duets to do with Vanessa, so both of you guys could get on.
Oh my God,
that'd be spectacular.
I love it when we're cruising together.
Let's go ahead. This is one more person gets a shot, and as of right now, the tickets are already going to go to Camille because she got hers. She was able to figure out I was doing Pink Pony Club. So
yeah, she knew the lyrics right away. I guess it's just really knowing the lyrics.
That's a big part of it, I think.
Because the rhythm and the melody are not going to help you.
Let's say hi to Ariel in North Hollywood. Hello, Ariel.
Sweet Divots. How's
Sweet
it going?
Dibs. Congratulations on surviving that big shaker we had a couple nights ago. Still talking about it. 3-9er in North Hollywood. You felt it. I know you did.
Yeah, I actually felt it pretty hard.
Yeah, I believe it.
I just felt it pretty hard.
All right, well, let's see if you feel this pretty hard. It's the final song. If you can figure out what...
Just so you know, I'm with Regal. I thought it was going to be Deftones songs, too.
Yeah, well, that would have been nice for the people that screened the calls to inform you as to what we were doing, but here we go. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Oh, please.
You got it?
Yeah. No.
This is a very popular song.
Why am I not surprised that hardcore Deftone fans do not know that I'm trying to sing a pop song? Please, 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 well, I have a fun idea, babe. Maybe just stay inside.
Ooh.
Any guesses?
Congratulations, Camille.
That's right. Well said. Hey, Camille, congratulations. You are going to see the Deftones on Thursday, all right?
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and I want you to know, and by the way, people on the text line still getting it. I'm not that tone deaf.
No.
People are able to guess all the songs
No,
I've
you
done.
are tone deaf. I think just people are just a little better at it.
We have another pair of tickets because we only had one winner in that game, which is great news for all of you diehard Deftones fans that are listening.
And Mars Volta.
And Mars Volta. And we'll give you a chance to win those tickets coming up. So Camille is in. She got herself a pair. She may be meeting the band. We've got another pair of Deftones tickets we'll give you today before we're out of here this morning on KROQ. The horses all have stupid names, but not as stupid as the names of the bands that Jake listens to. And if you'd like to play a little game with us now to win your way into Sold Out Troubadour, call now 800-520-1067. Horse or Jake's dumb bands. That's next on KROQ. Klein Alley Show. Good weekend to drink because you got Cinco de Mayo on Monday, but a lot of people will be celebrating over the weekend. And you got the Kentucky Derby if you like playing the ponies. And everyone has a friend that is into, mainstream bands everyone knows about. But then they also have these weird side project bands, and they want to be the first to know about them and get you into them. And they say, yeah, they're not as cool or as popular as, the Foo Fighters of the world. But, you'll be in early. And sometimes these are the fans that get mad when the band starts playing bigger venues because they're like, this was my little band.
Yeah, I know. And I, as a fan of some smaller bands, it is nice because you want to go to a low-key show where you can have good viewing and
sometimes
ticket
tickets
prices
are $5.
Exactly, and you can just have a nice evening with some really good live music.
What you don't necessarily want is the person like Jake that will always tell you about these bands he's into because he doesn't even, other than like Tool, and there's a few big bands he's a fan of. A lot of these bands he loves are these tiny little bands that no one's ever heard of, but he loves to tell you the story about, well, this is a side project of the cousin of one of the guys in Tool. This is Thomas Keenan, is Maynard James Keenan's fifth cousin or something. And it's like these stories, and you're like, I don't care.
He performs where you also can't see him.
You can't see either. It's the one thing that runs in the family. They all hide behind the equipment. So anyway, we've decided, in honor of the Kentucky Derby this weekend, let's see if you can tell the difference between the names of these horses that are running and some of these bands that Jake is always yapping about. He recently went to a Mogwai show. He was very excited about that.
That's great.
Wore the merch the next day. And I would say that that's at least a band I've heard of, but then I think the only reason I've actually heard of that band is because
You've heard of Gremlins?
Because Jake talks about it. I'm like, I think I've heard of them. And I'm like, Jake's like, yeah, for me, 6 months ago. I'm like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, and if you haven't caught up on the Showtime podcast, Jake listed his top 10 bands, and it was excruciating. But there's like 3 of them we've heard of and 7 that we've never heard of in our lives.
And one of them I don't even think is a band. It's like the concept of a band. So that's even more annoying. They've released he'll be like, this band has released no songs yet, but they did tease an album 3 years ago.
Yeah, or they put out some arrangement on YouTube.
Right, so I don't know. Whatever. Here we go. We will tell you the name, and I'll give you a free one right now. Like Flying Mohawk, you would think Flying Mohawk, that sounds like a cool band. I would definitely wear their merch. But Flying Mohawk is actually a horse that is running in the race, and I'm looking at the odds right now. Flying Mohawk is a 30-1, so if you want to go ahead and get in some action on the ponies, keep an eye on Flying Mohawk if you want to make some serious coin. All right, let's say hi to Donovan and Chino. Chance to play the game as we get to know Jake's dumb bands or the horses that are running in the Kentucky Derby. All right, you ready for this one, Donovan?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Everyone who gets theirs right, Allie will write your name down. One of you will get rewarded with some sold-out tickets to see Royal Otis band, not horse, at the Troubadour. Here we go. Dozer. Need an answer.
Dozer, let's go with that.
Oh my
you took
God.
way too long. I'm
Jesus.
I'm hanging up on you. I feel like that was too much time that was spent researching, and I'm sorry I cannot even accept that. You must be instant with your response.
Donovan, you're done, son, as Jake would say.
You're done, son. Hey, Art and Carson, Dozer, band or horse? Go.
Horse.
Horse. Show me horse. Dozer. Nope.
Other people are into Hosier. He's into Dozer.
Yeah. You know Hosier? Yeah, I got a band I'm into you've never heard of.
These guys play the Lodge Room this summer.
Do they have words?
Yeah, they got words.
I listened to, by the way, Omar put in clips of these bands.
How many words have you heard?
All their songs have words.
I listened to about 6 minutes of this song. I didn't get to one word yet. And the songs are all just painfully long.
Because they're just jamming the same riff for minutes.
It's like... And just when you think it's good... Jake, are you like a massive fan of this band, Dozer?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan. Actually, I'm a bigger fan of their other band that they're in called Greenleaf.
Okay. God damn it.
Which also goes like this.
Let me play you. I actually have Greenleaf. This is Greenleaf.
They all sound the same.
Yeah, that's right, Vanessa. They do all sound the same. That was me playing the same song. All right, moving on.
Is it just me, or does this sound exactly the same?
Can't believe she didn't fall for our prank. I mean, unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
All right, here we go. Is it a horse running in the Kentucky Derby? Or is it one of the many dumb bands that Jake is always listening to and telling us about? And no shade on the bands. Good for you. You're living your dream. But it's the fact that Jake is your biggest mouthpiece is a real problem. Enrique, welcome to KROQ. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Sweet Divots?
Sweet Divots. All right. Is this one of Jake's bands, or is this one of the horses that is running in the Kentucky Derby this weekend? Must answer immediately. Render judgment.
Horse.
Show me horse.
That's them shooting the horse.
That is future glue. Render judgment is also a 30-1. A lot of long shots in this one, as always. Hold on one second. You got yours right. That is not a horse. But, Jake, if that were a band, I feel like you'd like them just on name alone.
Sounds like a pretty badass band.
All right, let's say hi to Jessica. Oh, it's Jessica's birthday today. Hey, Jessica, happy birthday.
Why, thank you very much. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. I hope you win at least your round of this little game here called Kentucky Derby Horse or Jake's Dumb Band.
Aptly named.
Yawning Man.
Okay.
Yawning Man. Is Yawning Man the name of a horse running in the Kentucky Derby, or is that one of Jake's bands? Yawning Man.
I'm going to go for band because I'm a procrastinator, so wish me luck.
All right, let's find out if it's Jake's Dumb Band or if it's a horse. Yawning Man. Now, this is not me playing the same song as earlier, Alan, but it might as well be.
It literally sounds like the same thing, but worse quality.
Oh, that's good. Smell the joint of this song.
The Yawning Man
Again,
is
I've heard no words.
what they call
they don't have any words.
what they call their crowd at the show.
Their front row.
Yawning Man is everyone at the show. Wait, Jake, you don't? They don't have words in their songs?
Nah.
No,
They're high desert stoner rock legends, man.
All right. Well, anyway, Jessica,
That's so many adjectives.
you got yours right. Hold on one second. Congratulations for all fans of Yawn. I know there's someone out there listening. It's like, I do love that band. They're on my.
Yeah, Queens of Stone Age loves that band.
Okay, great. And that's the other thing Jake loves to do. He loves to tell me about bands I've heard of.
Bigger bands that care about the smaller band.
And what they think about the band. Yeah. I'm like, did they go on tour with them? He's like, no. But, one of the drummer is friends with one of the guys.
909 said, I'm going to see a band called Leftover Crack tonight in Pomona.
Oh, I've heard of them. My best friends love that band.
All right, great. No one's going to give.
It's always like a leap away from interesting.
All right, let's say hi. Adrian Whittier. Kentucky Derby is this weekend, but are the horses named dumber than the bands that Jake is a fan of? We got time for just a few more of these, so here we go. Adrian, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, listen closely. It's one of Jake's dumb bands or a horse running in the race. Hippie Sabotage. Hippie Sabotage.
That is the band.
Show me Jake's dumb band.
This actually sounds good.
That's dope.
I can see Jake swaying back and forth to this with Kibby.
They play the Palladium this month. I'm stoked.
All right, now you know. See, you do get new music on KROQ. Everyone says you don't. You just heard Hippie Sabotage. Didn't think you'd get that. Let's give David a shot.
631 said, I hate to inform you all, but Jake has the best taste in music of anyone in the room. He is an actual rock lover.
Jake texted that, I bet. Hey, David Garden Grove, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. All you got to do, tell me, is this horse racing or is this one of Jake's bands? Coal Battle.
That's a horse.
Show me horse for the win. Sure is. You got yours right as well. And in case you're wondering, Coal Battle, another 30-1 long shot horse in the Kentucky Derby.
What about Diarrhea Planet?
Now we're playing with texters. I'm going to say that is a great name for a racehorse because that's, if I was...
Don't get behind Diarrhea in a Planet.
Yeah, no one wants that.
310 said Diarrhea in a Planet has 7 guitarists and they are an amazing band.
All right, see, that is the kind of story that Jake tells us constantly. We give, let's see here, one person, Rena will get the final play here. Hey, Rena, you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, is this one of Jake's dumb bands or is this a horse? Cadabra.
Cadabra, that's a band.
Show me band.
And I bet they're all just standing there too. This big long hair draped over their faces.
All right.
One of them has like a bucket over their head.
Once again, no words.
We got words.
I don't hear any words there. That's all we have. All right, Allie, a lot of people got theirs right. Now you know the difference between the horses and Jake's Dumb Bands. Who is going to go to see the Royal Otis at the Troubadour?
All right, picking?
She's picking random now.
I just did it. That was a blank page. Hold
Allie
on.
just picked no one's name right there. That's not good luck. And it lands on...
Okay, this isn't just because it's her birthday. Jessica.
Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me. Jessica, what a birthday gift, huh?
Heck yeah!
Look at your luck.
Thank you, guys.
You're going to go see Royal Otis, Troubadour sold out show on
Or you can go see Cadaver
Cinco de
with me.
Mayo Monday.
Royal Otis is also a good name for a racehorse.
Great name. Royal Otis. Love that. Speaking of from Triple Crown to Heavy as the Crown, almost like we planned it that way. Lincoln Park on your KROQ. I think we have just enough time to hear that apology that apparently Postmaster Johnny's been working on. There's so much hate and anger. I don't want to play all these messages because I think it's going to put people in a bad mood on a Friday. Friday, you should be in a decent mood. It's supposed to be the happiest day of the week. But there's just a lot of messages that all kind of say roughly what this woman is saying.
Everybody was bashing on Johnny because of his unprofessionalism. And I just want to chime in really quickly. Johnny, you have no idea how good you have it at your age working at effing KROQ, which one of the best radio stations in the world. Yeah, you don't have some janky ass job at Subway or...
He had janky ass jobs, and he talks about it every once in a while, how appreciative he is to work here. He does actually say that. He's like, I don't want to be back working at the chiropractic office I was at. Or
yeah, but actions speak louder than words.
Right, and that's the reality. You could say that all day, but Johnny does have an apology. I didn't realize you were coming in the studio for this, but Johnny has been confronted about what comes across as a real lack of respect. But he's written something down, so whenever you're ready, this apology is not just to us. I don't need to hear it. It's really more to the audience, because every bit of effort that all of us put into the show is really not for us. It's for the people listening, and hopefully they enjoy the show. It's something they look forward to, brings them a little bit of happiness or cures some boredom on the way to work.
Yeah, we heard from somebody earlier this week who said they're extremely depressed most of the time, and the show brings them incredible joy, but that joy has gone away since all of this Johnny drama began. And we don't want to make you sad. We want to make you happy.
It's a feel-good show. We make each other sad so that you can feel better.
Whee!
So Johnny's got some words he'd like to say right now. And I'm going to warn you, Johnny, if this is a giant put-on where you're just...
You see this? See this?
Oh, my God.
See this?
Did you write that, or did ChatGPT? Be honest.
Now, why do you guys always ask if ChatGPT writes my stuff? I was
good at writing.
Thank you, Vanessa. I was a good, prolific writer in high school. I had an amazing teacher.
There's 0 chance that's true. But okay, go ahead. Whenever you're ready, Johnny.
Dear all the listeners.
Well worded already.
Sorry.
I take back thinking that ChatGPT helped you on that.
Okay. All serious, in all sincerity.
Cook.
My God.
Please, let me cook. Let me read, please. I want to take a moment to offer...
This is a prolific writer. This is a prolific writer who's speaking
I don't think
right
he
now.
knows what prolific means. Okay.
Clearly he does not.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Okay. I want to take a moment to offer a genuine apology for my recent behavior and, more importantly, for the mindset behind it. Over time, I've allowed laziness and entitlement to creep into my work.
Wow.
And that's not only let you down, it's let me down too. The truth is, I've been incredibly fortunate to be in a position that many dream of. This job has always been a goal of mine, something I once only imagined from the outside. And yet, in moments when I should have been giving my all, I allowed comfort and complacency to take the lead. I'm shaking a little bit.
That's good. I can tell this is coming from the heart, Johnny.
This is doing something. Okay.
It's okay to cry.
No, I'm not going to cry. This isn't a cryable moment.
If you could cry,
that would be helpful.
If you cry, we'll give you a raise.
Okay.
Genuine cry. Don't be inauthentic here.
And yet, let me see where I left off. Okay. I lost sight of the effort, the drive, and the humility that got me here in the first place. I recognize that showing up with purpose and integrity every day is part of what this role and this team deserve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take that lightly anymore. I understand now that gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a responsibility, one I failed to live up to. Moving forward, I'm committed to rebuilding your trust, not with words, but with consistent, focused, hard work. I want to show you, day by day, that I can be somebody who earns this role, not just occupies it. I will approach my work with renewed humility, listening more, giving more, and holding myself to a much higher standard. To everyone who's been patient with me, and to those who are disappointed, I see it, I hear it, and I'm determined to make it right. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do better.
What is wrong with your brain?
I will not waste it.
That was really nice, Johnny.
Johnny, if you meant any of those words, let me ask the real sniff test here, which is Omar. Did he tune out or did he listen to that?
Omar, you there? He's pooping.
Nah,
he's pooping.
He's in the restroom.
That's okay.
Right.
You can do it again next hour.
No. I'm here. I just tune out, whatever, because actions are going to speak louder than words.
All right.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what he's saying, though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, you know what?
You've convinced Omar.
Some people are
it.
One apology letter doesn't necessarily change the minds of everybody.
You know what?
Oh, no. Oh,
I don't
boy.
want to get
here we
into
go.
this,
Oh,
but
boy.
like
Here we go.
here's the thing, okay? I don't think Johnny understands here that he's here to prop up is not the to make
Support.
Klein and Alley shine, right? That's his job here. And a perfect example of what Johnny does is the picture that he posted yesterday with him front and center and
Yes.
Klein and Alley in the back,
You're
like
right.
they're part of the audience. That is my issue with it.
Yes.
That picture is the epitome of what he does.
Right.
That is just
agree.
wrong.
Omar, what you're saying is accurate, and Johnny does like to put himself front and center. Remember the Legends picture with the great
Right.
Kevin Ryder? And
Another
everyone was-
example.
Right, it was him in the front, and I think he was actually propping himself up on the corpse of Jed the Fish, which seemed totally unnecessary, Johnny, that you made yourself the star of that.
So we'll see what happens.
Hey, look, Johnny is trying to do something, make it right here. So let's let
Well, this
him
is the
try
first
to make
step.
it right.
Yeah,
this
Johnny,
is the first step.
it's
And yes, 714 says this is an empty apology. Blah
Right.
blah blah.
Nice letter. If you mean any of that and you stand by that, listen. Yesterday, I don't want to bring this up on the air because I know yesterday we already talked about the fact that instead of you taking a picture of the star unveiling, you took a picture of a guy's head. But there was a moment
That
where
damn guy,
I was
I
having
swear.
a nice exchange with Flava Flav, and I have not seen him in many years, but we connected, and it was a nice moment. And Johnny is just watching it happen, and he has no phone out to capture it. A guy from another radio station sees me having this back and forth with Flav, and he goes, "Hey, I figured you'd probably want this, so I decided to film it and take pictures of it to give it to you."
You know who else took pictures of it? Getty Images.
Right, and I go, and you see, and you actually see,
And it's up on Getty
yeah,
Images.
and you see Johnny in the background just watching, and he goes, "That was such a cool."
Look who's got this photo right here
That-
showing the live stream.
that
I got
was-
this nice candid photo of you.
Not
and
until
Flavor
after
Flav.
you were already spoken
No,
to about
this
it,
is
Johnny.
before.
That's
This
false.
is before.
We
Look
can't
at-
get into it now. All right, we got to take a break.
Timestamp.
Johnny, that was a very nice apology.
Oh, thank you.
626 said, Omar, I think the word you're looking for is fluffer. He's our fluffer.
Okay, there you go. He's supposed to fluff you guys.
After hearing that letter, I'm convinced Johnny needs to be fired immediately. Okay, that's
Okay,
not.
you know what?
There's
Let's give him
He
time.
needs to be groomed, Klein.
Let's groom Johnny and other young. We come
Put
back.
him in his place,
come
which is
back in
on
a
his
moment.
knees. Am I right, Klein?
Hey, empty mouths don't eat or something.
A closed mouth doesn't eat.
We come back in a moment. When we get back, your Ohana Festival tickets will be in your future. And if we can stomach it, we'll do some Johnny Doesn't Know. Plus, Allie will bring you the ADD news after this.
World famous KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
KROQ.
Honey.
Here's quote number one.
A closed mouth doesn't eat.
Where did you read that?
That's applicable in everything.
Now, you said that we told you that. We never said that. No one on the show has ever said that to you.
No, I think one of the bosses actually told me that.
Said a closed mouth never eats?
One of the bosses?
So
Are
open
they
up,
unzipping
baby.
their pants? Yeah.
If you want this job.
You want to eat?
A closed mouth never eats. Here we
You
go.
want me to explain what you do?
I feel like that is something that needs to be brought up to HR immediately.
So long I've been waiting, girl, you know I've been anticipating for the day you'd come my way. Now you're here and I got to say, you're my adrenaline, you're my fire. Girl, you make me wanna reach up higher. No star is too far. Spread your wings as we reach up for the sky. Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love.
I see the lightning, feel the thunder. Girl, it's time for us to go down under. I've got you, and you've got me. Let's get together and make some memories.
Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love. I got a shoulder you can lean on.
When
Times get bad, don't be sad. Right here by your side. Yeah, yeah. True love's so hard to find.
When you get it, got to hold on tight.
I got you, and you got me. Let's get together and make some memories. Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love. Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love.
The second that is done, we get you into Ohana Fest with some 3-day tickets. Those will be yours, and that's all starting in about 4 minutes on KROQ. Let's immediately get into your ADD news. Then we kick off a brand new hour of the show. And the first thing we do is hook you up with 3-day passes, Ohana Fest. So be ready to call in moments. But first,
grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD news.
If you're really proud of a body part, would you insure it? Make sure you get that money if anything ever happens to it. Maybe that body part makes you money, and insuring it will protect that money. In Nick Cannon's case, his most valuable asset is clearly his balls. They were able to create dozens of children, and he has them through various women, including Mariah Carey, and he revealed that he has insured his balls for $10 million, and if anything should happen to them, The money would be split among his children, so each child would get around $4. But one of his baby mamas posted a response to this statement saying, funny, any plans on seeing your child? It's been over a month. But good to know she'll get some of your money if anything happens to your balls, shaking my head.
I mean, I think it's become a giant joke that how many kids that he has, and, he makes some money, so I'm sure he supports
And he's running
them all.
out of name ideas.
But it does feel at some point irresponsible because you don't have that kind of time. I mean, I feel stretched with 2 kids. I can only imagine if you had 10 of them living in different houses. How do you give any of them any sort of support system?
Exactly. And even as he, explains this in a podcast, I'm like, why is he sitting here doing a podcast? He should be with his kids.
He's got to pay
there's
for it
no
all.
way that you can do.
They're filming it for him.
Yeah, the kids are filming the podcast.
Exactly. But it seems like, if you have 12 kids, you probably won't be able to spend that much time with any of them. We talked to some people that have a lot of kids just last week, I believe, and some of them couldn't
21.
even remember their birthdays.
Nope.
So to be able to see them on a regular basis is probably a lot to ask. All right, Klein, do you want to hear about Hulk Hogan's new wrestling league or the Tony Award nominees?
The first one is more interesting to me personally.
All right, and the Tony Award nominees
God
are
damn
out.
it. Don't care.
It is actually a record number of celebrities on
Shut up,
Broadway
brother.
this year.
Even Hogan doesn't like this story. Hey, you're right, Hogan. It's a dumb story.
I won't list the nominees, but I do think it's interesting that this year on Broadway
Gay
is...
plays, brother. Whoa. Hogan. We're at the Pantages.
He's going to be doing the vagina monologue.
Shut up, queer, brother.
Okay, great. George Clooney, Bill Burr, Kieran Culkin, Sarah Snook, Sadie Sink, Nicole Scherzinger, Bob Odenkirk, Denzel Washington, Jake Gyllenhaal, Nick Jonas, Mia Farrow. The list goes on. These are all celebrities.
Are these all Nick's kids?
These are all of Nick's kids.
Nick Canada, so many kids. Oh, my God.
He birthed Nick Jonas.
Unbelievable.
No, it kind of reminds me when streaming really took off and you started to see all these A-list movie actors suddenly doing television. And it was like, whoa, what is Nicole Kidman doing in a series? Because she was a movie actress, or Matthew McConaughey and stuff like that. I think that there's a transition now happening with big actors going to the stage, and it seems like Broadway is having some kind of a resurgence as a result of all these A-listers. Like the tickets for this Jake Gyllenhaal, Denzel Washington, Othello performance
they're
like
$1,000
$900.
I know, and I will never pay that, nor would I care. And if I was ever
now I want to go back to New York. I never wanted to go back until now.
You know what? Every time I go to any of these plays, this is what I do. They hand me that magazine that has the
playbill.
They hand me the playbill, and I sit there the whole time and I count. Once they do a song, I go, okay, God, there's only 8 left. Okay, God, only 7 left. I can't wait.
It's hard with a play when they don't really have song
Well,
listings.
it's very frustrating, but I just count back. I just get
How many songs left in Othello? It's Shakespeare.
I just turn to the person next to me. I go, is this the last song, right? Can we finally get out of here?
All right, and then finally, no mall is complete without 2 things, a Wetzel's Pretzels and a Sunglass Hut. Which one of those 2 is more robbable? Probably the Sunglass Hut, and that is what happened at a mall in San Bernardino. Law enforcement arrested 3 of 7 suspects who reportedly stormed a Sunglass Hut location and made off with $30,000 worth of merch. The question is, how many pairs of sunglasses is that? I have the number.
All right, Sunglass Hut. I would imagine a good pair of glasses. No, I'd say 200 for a nice pair of polarized Oakleys maybe these days. Maybe you throw in some Ray-Bans. So 200 divided by something. Carry the 1. Allie, that is exactly 1,500 pairs of sunglasses.
11.
1,100?
11 pairs of sunglasses.
11? What?
11 pairs of sunglasses that were somehow worth $30,000. That's according to officials.
Well, that's clearly for insurance fraud. There's no way.
Are they diamond encrusted or what the hell?
30,000?
But I'm saying like this.
Okay,
So now,
I've never been in a sunglass hut.
So you're talking over 10, over 5,000 a pair roughly. So what's a $5,000 pair of sunglasses? Those don't exist.
That's what I thought. But it says they made off with 11 pairs of sunglasses that are worth $30,000.
No, that's
and why did it take 7 people to rob 11 pairs of sunglasses? That seems excessive.
Take 1 each.
How weak
Hey,
are
wait,
they?
you took 2.
All right, we get into a brand new hour of the show right now, and this will be the greatest hour of your life. What a way to kick off your weekend as we get you into Ohana Fest. Caller 20 now, 800-520-1067. Let's go.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
All right, good morning. Welcome to your weekend. Caller 20, I want to hear from you now. 800-520-1067. Get you into Ohana Fest. Eddie Vedder, the Earthlings, Kings of Leon. That's just on the 26th. Then you go to September 27th, you get some Hozier and Royal Otis, Leon Bridges, Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Make your way all the way to the 28th, and the most recent recipients of a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which you can't see because Johnny's video is blocked by a man's bald head. You can see Green Day, Cage the Elephant, Wet Leg, and more. And all you got to do is be caller 20 now. You'll win those tickets from us currently, and then again at noon, 3 and 6, all day here on KROQ.
831 said it had to be those Ray-Bans with the cameras on them.
Yeah, the Meta Ray-Bans, but I don't, even those, I think they're like $200 a pair. I don't think they're that much. But
I know. I think there's got to be more to this story. 11 pairs for $30,000 seems like a ridiculous amount of money.
Or else we're all just completely undervaluing what we could be stealing from Sunglass Hut. I mean, I didn't realize.
They've just been sitting there.
Yeah, just sitting there.
They're robbing like Bergdorf's and all these other mall stores that
heavy
are,
stuff. They got to lug out. They should just be grabbing pairs of sunglasses. We will get to that in just a moment. A variety of different calls waiting on the GOAT line. People that are wishing us well into the weekend. And Omar, this will be a challenge for you at the end of the show when we officially play the anthem into the weekend. But listen to this.
Yo, bitch ass Klein, it's Friday. Omar, your record is 16 sound bites from the show that you have inserted into the weekend song. Let's see if you beat it. Happy Friday, bitches.
Hey, happy Friday, bitches. So this guy claims...
Who keeps track?
This guy does. He says 16 is your record for the amount of drops you've crowbarred into the weekend song.
All right.
Let's see if you can break that record when we officially kick off the weekend in less than an hour here on KROQ. Let's go ahead and say hi to someone listening to us this morning in Pomona and give them some great news. Good morning. Is this Vanessa?
Yes! Hi!
Hi, how are you?
What's up? We're on our way to Montella for Mother's Day weekend getaway. Now we're going to Ohana.
All right. Well, you got the wrong weekend because Mother's Day is not next weekend. Don't freak me out.
That's how you celebrate it right.
That's how El Cheapo does it.
That's how you get 2 Mother's Days.
You know how you get a normal price brunch? You do it the weekend before Mother's Day.
Yes.
All right. Well, good news. You're going to Ohana Fest. You've got yourself a couple of tickets, so enjoy and have a great time. All right?
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day. Also, Cinco de Mayo on Monday. People celebrating all weekend. Got the Kentucky Derby to look forward to. And, because the Lakers are now officially out of the playoffs, you got to find other things to get excited about. So let's focus on that. All right. So here's the good news. Those tickets are yours. We do have more stuff to give you this hour, though. We will get into everything we have in store for you, plus some Johnny Doesn't Know. Johnny Doesn't Know apologies. Someone asked if that's going to be the theme. That will not be the theme, but we will get into all things we have in store for you this hour after this one from Gorillaz on KROQ. KROQ, Klein Alley Show on the eve of a Cinco de Mayo weekend, and some are celebrating all weekend. Some will just wait till Monday, so you kind of get that bonus day. This person on the GOAT line did want to remind us that if you remember, we got a call from a guy who called himself Suave Agave. Vanessa brought us back that bottle of tequila from Mexico. Thought it was a very high-end bottle of tequila that she got a great deal on. Only paid $65 for this bottle of tequila. And on Monday, I believe Suave Agave is going to come in here and test that tequila.
Oh, on Monday?
I think
it's confirmed.
Confirmed for Monday. I know that because, well, first of all, it's funny. I wasn't sure if this guy was even legit. We started getting a lot of messages from listeners.
Sweet Dips, guys. I was just calling because I've heard your 429 show, and I have to say that Mr. Suave Agave, he is legit. So do yourselves a favor, get him in the studio and do a tequila tasting. Also, I have to say that my husband, he's a huge fan of that other fat guy morning show.
Oh, the other fat guy morning show.
And I'm trying to convert him to your show, but...
You're doing the Lord's work.
Once he heard Mr. Suave Agave was on your radio, he was intrigued, but...
Well, Suave Agave left many more messages. In fact, I got to find these because there's been a few. I didn't realize that Vanessa had officially booked him for Monday. But Suave Agave is going to bring his test. He's got like a detective's test, and I don't know how he knows. He's an expert, I guess.
Maybe this will be the show that converts her guy.
Maybe this will be the one, and we can grab another listener. We'll take listeners from any other show. I get it. You got
any
habits.
other fat guy show.
Any other fat guy show, which doesn't really narrow them down. But there are some that are fatter than others. And
Klein Alley Show. This is Mr. Suave Agave.
This is Suave Agave, who was apparently booked for Monday so that we can drink tequila.
And I'm very excited to pass by on Monday to share some tequilas, some good tequila, some goody. I have a bunch of bottles. I have one specifically for Vanessa. I can't say much.
Vanessa's going to get all messed.
I can't wait.
I don't think I'm going to drink.
Yes, you have to.
We're going to bring in a bunch of volleyballs. So she can,
you have to.
Yeah, you'll be forced to drink on Monday. Monday, in fact, because you are the person that just did your tequila, even though it's tequila tasting and you kept calling it tequila testing, you didn't even learn what it's called. She's like, I did so much tequila testing. I'm like, you mean tasting, right? She's like, I don't think that's what it's called. I'm like, yes, it is.
It's tasting.
But actually on Monday, we are going to be doing some tequila testing because he's going to bring his kid in to figure out if that bottle you brought us is actually good tequila or if you got scammed in Mexico.
But I know she's going to love it. Also, I figure since it's Cinco de Drinko, it wouldn't be a proper Margarita Monday without some drinks.
Yes. So this guy is going to bring us all sorts of stuff.
I'm happy to whip up some cocktails and teach you some easy tequila drinks that I would personally love to make super easy peasy. So, also...
That's enough. But Monday...
Easy peasy, lime squeezy.
I'm very excited to have... Thank you. Allie's going to be saying that a lot on Monday. So, apologies in advance. That's Monday Alley this year. She's going to offend a lot of people.
I will handle the tribute for
Vanessa, we are going to, on Monday, this guy will be here, and we're going to see just how good you are at picking out
good tequila.
Good versus bad tequila. So
I'm scared.
Yeah, Monday I recommend you take an Uber to work.
Dude, I know that having holidays like this on a weekday sucks, but Cinco de Mayo on a Monday...
It's great.
I'm all about it. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So that'll be happening when we come back on Monday. So we will leave this show drinking, I would imagine, today, and then start again bright and early Monday morning with Suave Agave.
I just have to get through Saturday and Sunday.
Just got to get through 2 days of letting your liver recover. Quick break. We're back in a second. When we return, oh, yes, there's the box of shame in the studio. We got that to get to. Some Johnny Doesn't Know and more next.
Here's the lineup for the 3-day Ohana Fest at Doheny State Beach.
Ohana Festival founder Eddie Vedder making the call on this one himself.
Are you ready, Ohana? Are you ready?
Ohana! Listen to KROQ at 9 noon, 3 and 6 to win 3-day passes to Ohana Fest, September 26th to 28th, Doheny State Beach, featuring Eddie Vedder and the Earthling, Queen Day, Hosier, Kings of Leon, Cage the Elephant. Garbage, Wet Leg, and more.
Hello, is that better?
Hey, this is Billy Joe from Green Day.
It's Matt Schultz from Cage the Elephant.
Hi, this is Shirley from Garbage.
Listen to KROQ to win tickets to see us.
World Famous KROQ. Yeah, that's right.
KROQ, Klein Alley Show. Perhaps Perhaps you felt the jolt last night as you were going to sleep or just getting home or whatever the case may have been.
Man.
Big jolt. A lot of people still recovering. 3.9 or North Hollywood.
Some people like Klein are still recovering.
Real shaker. Still have not been able to sleep. Really messed me up good,
I got
man.
PTSD.
Well, there's no one you can sue for that, but if you've been playing a lot of video games lately, apparently there's lots of people you can sue. There's a class action suit that's been going on now that claims that if you've spent any serious amount of time playing any games, app games, traditional video games, etc., you could be entitled to real money, and a woman just got paid out because she claimed that her Candy Crush addiction was crippling.
Well, there's endless levels.
Endless.
I'm at level 1069, I believe.
Yeah, and you're nowhere near the end. And if you ever get to the end, they'll just make more levels.
Yes, because it's very easy to just make more levels.
She finally ended up getting paid close to $250,000 because they agreed that she was right. And the way that the video game manufacturers operate now is that they are supposedly, this is according to the class action lawsuit that's going on right now.
Man, she could probably buy so many Crush combos with that $250,000.
She sure could. They are embedding, quote, addictive psychological features into popular games like Minecraft, GTA 5, Fortnite. This is proposally done to hook players, compelling them to spend excessive time and money on gaming.
Of course.
This is what they're designed to do.
If they're good at their jobs, that's what they're doing.
Now, I guess that, like anything else, they claim that if they can find proof that they were attempting to get people to get, quote, addicted and spend money and spend time to the point now where they're saying people are missing school, missing jobs,
Any video
relationships.
game is designed to have you keep playing. They want you to play as long as you can.
But for whatever reason, I don't know where that line is. Now there's a giant class action lawsuit that's going on. That
and you can do it with our phones. You can do it with social media. You could do it with
the notifications.
Girl Scout
releases
cookies.
that dopamine. Yeah.
Girl Scout cookies, all of it.
Literally, you can find anything addicting, and we find everything addicting now. I was just actually reading about how people are getting addicted to AI and chatbots, because if you're lonely and you want to talk to somebody, you can talk to AI as long as you want to, and people are now like speaking to them so often that they feel like they can't go without it, like it's a friend of theirs that they need to constantly be checking in with.
Well, there's a wellness retreat that apparently has just opened up for people that were addicted to the day trading of the cryptocurrency.
Well, that's just like gambling.
Overpowering, and all the emotions, the highs, the lows, that they said, this is overtaking my entire life. I've gone completely broke. I decided to go all in on Fartcoin, and it bankrupted my family, and now I got to check into a rehab to deal with this. But are we becoming more addicted? You think as a society now we are just getting addicted easier to things?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the internet is to blame, but I also think that they know, like, we are consumers. That's what we do. We consume content, we consume new products, everything.
Right, we're like termites.
Yes, exactly. We consume everything in our path. And whether you are somebody who's addicted to gambling, whether it's, online or in person, somebody like me would be finding an addiction in places like Temu and deal hunting and things like that, where I look at my Temu app and there's a spinning wheel going spin, spin, spin. You can win 100% off these 10 items. And I'm like, and it's all programmed to trigger that same part of your brain that wants more, more, more. What's the next thing? What's the next rush?
But I don't believe all addictions are respected the same. Because if you were to meet someone and they're like, oh man, I was crazy addicted to heroin for a while and now I'm on the recovery. People are like, hey man, props, good work, man. That's not easy to kick heroin. But if someone else is like,
a Fartcoin guy?
I'm addicted to Fartcoin. I've been playing the meme. Like, it was like, dude, you're not addicted to anything. Like, get the F out of here.
Well, I think having an embarrassing addiction is tough. Like, yes, if you have something traditional, that's, you have your own things that you've done to get drugs or alcohol or whatever, and you have those stories and you have a shame attached to that, etc. But there's a different shame attached when you say, I spent 7 hours last night on online bingo.
909 says Allie, not to rub it in, but I'm on level 9,345 on Candy Crush. You got a long way to go.
No, yeah, I was doing it like every single day, and then I actually got mugged because I was walking down the street at night on Candy Crush, and because I couldn't stop playing, and I had like a 5-minute walk ahead of me, and because I was looking down at my phone and not paying attention, I got mugged, and then my phone got stolen, and then I had to start my Candy Crush streak all over again.
My levels.
I know, all the candies that I popped.
Probably crushing right now. Yeah, I wonder, is there something that you are currently addicted to? Like, defend your addiction. Like, for instance, you're into it, it's probably gotten to that point of, I think that even buying stuff on Amazon has become a weird addiction for certain people. They just kind of can't get through the day without looking and getting, especially if you're constantly getting the updates of what's arriving. And it's very easy now for us to fall into the trap. I'm curious. We'll share with you ours. Love to hear yours. You can text, you can call 800-520-1067.
Klein, Alley, Show! Mornings on KROQ 106.7 KROQ.
Klein Alley Show. Thank you to everyone on the text line that said that our show has become their most unhealthy addiction, and now I feel like I must listen, and when I'm not listening, I'm missing out on stuff, so much so that I listen to the podcast afterwards, and I'm getting the shakes. So thank you for that. Greatly appreciate you. Talking addictions now. Apparently a giant class action suit is underway for anyone who feels like they've been addicted to video games or apps because they're designed to get you hooked and keep you there forever, and that's not okay. People addicted now these days to cryptocurrencies. My addiction is old school. It's gambling. That's the thing. When I get around a casino and I start hearing those noises.
Do you gamble every day?
I could gamble every day. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you could, but do you?
Not every day, but that's just because I'm a little tapped right now. But if I got a little bit more in the reserves, I could see myself gambling every
And how
day.
far in the hole have you been before?
Well, there's a listener to this show that called in to bet me $100 on that Tyson fight. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I bet him on I thought Tyson was going to win, and I owed him $100, and then I was going to pay him on the side because I pay all my debts. And then he wrote to me, "You want to double?"
Said with confidence.
Want to double or nothing?
Because I pay all my debts.
He goes, "You want to double or nothing?" And I go, "Sure, let's double or nothing." Went up to 2. I was down 2. Then I was down 4. Then I was down 8. And I think I currently owe him over $1,000.
Yeah, but you've owed more than that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why I moved to the West Coast. I owed a bookie a ton of money on the East Coast.
How much money?
North of 20.
Wow.
Yeah, north of 20.
And then you ran away from that?
But I was up for a period before then. And
Did you explain that to him? He'll probably understand.
He's in jail now for another 4 years, and then I'll have to deal with that. But for the time being.
Oh, my God. What if you were the first person he found?
He may. Jeremiah on KROQ. Good morning.
Good morning.
What is your addiction?
I've been addicted to World of Warcraft since 2004, and I've lost a marriage over it, lost 3 or 4 jobs over it.
Wow, that's a real deal addiction. This guy's up for that class action lawsuit money right there.
So, how long have you been playing?
Since 2004, since it came out.
So, you've been playing for 20 plus years, and you still find it that interesting?
It's ever changing, and then they re-released all the original content. So when everybody started complaining that the new stuff's getting boring, they're not creating new things, they re-released the old stuff that we had all the nostalgia for, and everybody went back to that.
When your wife,
they're making small changes.
When your wife said to you at some point, "It's me or World of Warcraft," you clearly made your choice, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Did she give you a chance to save the marriage and say "Look, I'll stay with you, but you got to give up this World of Warcraft"? And you're like, "Sorry, you don't have new levels every week like this does."
No, there was no chance. It was just, hey, I'm not getting enough attention. This other person gives me attention that I so need and desire. So she kind of fell in love with someone else because all my attention was either a work if I was working, and then come home and 12 hours a day World of Warcraft.
And what jobs did you lose?
Oh, man, I've been a general manager of, a bowling alley, a general manager of, at the time, a Subway up in Washington.
Oh,
cushy gig.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where are you at now? Where are you at now in your addiction? Pretty deep still?
I'm on my way home to play World of Warcraft.
Oh, man, you are deep.
Yeah, but you have a job now, right?
Yeah, that's the funny part, because what my job is, you think I could beat my addiction to World of Warcraft.
What is your job?
I'm a substance abuse counselor, so I help people with other addictions.
Man. Do you come clean with them and tell them, I get what you're going through?
Oh yeah, I have self-disclosure. They're like, hey, man, just because you beat one addiction doesn't mean you're not susceptible to other ones. Because I did overcome a drug addiction in my life, and one of the ways I overcame that is some good friends of mine who actually cared about me bought me a computer in 2004 and bought me World of Warcraft.
Oh, man. Look at that. That's the irony of that.
Let me hand you your next addiction.
Put away the drugs. Get a sweet router. Matt, what are you addicted to?
I am somewhat addicted to sniffing blankets and old T-shirts.
Now, with the blankets, is it the smellier the better, or are you like clean ones?
Just when things are going well and everyone's got them weekend vibes creeping in, we have the Box of Shame. This is what it looks like if you're interested in checking out on the YouTube, as we're streaming there live right now.
It is a real box.
Every time we do something shameful in our lives or anything we remember, oh man, that was a terrible thing I did in college. I regret that. At the time Omar beat up the homeless man.
I didn't beat him up. Almost got in the fight, though.
Almost got into a fight, but he did steal shoes and made a security guard from Mervyn's chase Omar up a hill or something like that.
I did do that,
You also spit in someone's soup at a restaurant,
At
didn't
a
you?
Denny's.
I did. They had it coming.
So we've all done terrible things like you have as well. We're not proud of them. That's why usually you never bring them up again. But here we have a box we keep in the back office, the Box of Shame. We write our stories, put it in the box, pick one out at random, and that person gets a chance to defend their actions that they did many, many years ago. It's time for the Box of Shame.
The box
What's in the box?
of shame.
Shame.
And if you'd like to make us feel bad to our own faces, you can do that later on today in about 2 hours, 11:30, 1:30. Rogue Charging Station in Santa Ana. Details, address, location, all that stuff will be up on our socials, Klein Alley Show. First 100 people get a free car wash. Get your car nice and clean before the rain comes. Also give you some tickets to Raging Rivers. What do we do? Wild Rivers.
To Raging Rivers. I'm so glad it didn't help you. I'm literally looking at it, Wild Rivers, and I'm like, what is he saying?
The reality is I don't like the Box of Shame, and it puts me in a bad mood.
And
because
what else are they getting, Klein?
I don't know.
They get one more thing.
Sticker?
There you go.
KROQ sticker. I get that right at least?
You said we were going to do it in Santa Monica earlier this week as well.
I know. I forgot. Anyway, hopefully I'm there. We'll see. If 100 people can even find it, already they're winners. All right, this person, God, I hope it's not me. I know one of my stories is in this box, and I dread the day it gets pulled out. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it likely will, because you have bad luck with the Box of Shame.
This is not me. It's not my handwriting. This person, oh my God, what an animal. This person went #1 in an air conditioning vent because they were too tired to actually walk to the bathroom.
Oh, my God.
See, that is a shameful thing.
That seems like not a far walk.
And who would do that in a place they live in either? This is not my writing, but I don't think it's Allie's writing either. Omar, is this you?
It is not me. I would not do that.
That stays in the vent for so long.
I would think it was Vanessa, but it says a vent and not her own pants. So.
I don't do that.
Right. So
I only poop my
so
pants.
It's down to Johnny or Jake. It's down to, no, Johnny's waving me off. Jake, this is you?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
All right.
All right, moving on.
Hey, isn't the last time you were in the Box of Shame? Wasn't that when you went #2 in a trash can at
Oh, yeah, but that was because of my condition. This is just because I was drunk.
How many of your stories involve going to the bathroom places you shouldn't?
Oh, all of them.
Oh.
No. So what happened was when I first started doing stand-up, you would go on these little mini tours, and all these were run by bookers that were really cheap. So they wouldn't put you up in a hotel. They would put you up in something called like a comedy condo, and that's just like a really run-down house.
Oh.
And so my room in this comedy condo was upstairs, where the only room upstairs was just this room. It was like a carpeted attic. It wasn't like a nice place. And I was
Isn't
up there
comedy
and I was super
glamorous?
drunk.
This is so sad without the pee part.
Yeah, but you don't even have to get to the part where you urinated in the vent. Already, this is the
The
fact.
explanation of comedy condo is sad enough.
The fact you got booked on the tours. Any impressive comedians in that condo with you, or just you? Like anyone we've heard of?
No. This is a bunch of road dogs. And I'm up there.
What does that mean?
It's like another comedy term.
It's a term for guys that you don't know, but they make a career just on the road constantly.
Yeah, just grinding it out, no glory.
Oof, yeah, clearly. Okay.
Right.
And so I woke up and I was super drunk, and I didn't want to walk back downstairs to the bathroom because it was downstairs. So I peed in the vent in the floor. And
In the floor?
Yeah.
Because you were too lazy to walk downstairs and use the bathroom.
Yeah. So I feel bad for whoever turns the heater on in that place.
This happened how many years ago?
Forever. I mean, when I first started, like 2004 or 5.
Where was that comedy condo located?
Probably like somewhere in eastern Washington or Idaho or something.
Oh my God.
All right, well,
but you know when something is already run down, you really start losing respect for how you don't treat it well because you're like, well, no one cares about this place clearly. So, but I didn't realize it was a floor vent. I pictured yourself pressing yourself up against a wall vent.
So what are you? So you squatting over like a lady, Jake?
I'm kneeling.
Oh, you
You got up.
I knelt down and then. And
Right.
Why did you kneel down?
I was kind of like pinching the stream, so we'd just like flood down the thing. I didn't want to like wake anybody up.
After hearing Jake on your show, I feel like him peeing on the floor was the funniest thing he did all weekend. It probably was. That should have been your closer on stage,
You
Jake.
should have mentioned it in your set.
All right, well, there you go. It's pretty shameful, Jake. I will admit.
Yeah, especially because if that vent continues, you're on the top floor. That's just literally trickling down to everybody else.
Well, like one guy.
Oh.
Okay, great. Well, wonderful.
One other road dog.
Another road dog right there. It's K-Rock. We are Klein Alley Show. We are Klein Alley Show, and Johnny, I hate to break it to you, but we're not going to have enough time to do Johnny Doesn't Know, so we'll push it to Monday for a very special Johnny Doesn't Know Cinco de Mayo on Cinco de Mayo, where we'll be drinking in studio with Mr. Suave Agave himself, and some other things we have in store for you. We'll get to your takeaways in a moment for today's show. Omar will attempt to shatter his own personal best with more than 16 drops during the weekend song.
Yeah.
The official anthem into the weekend. I would argue that Omar has faster fingers than Allie, and Allie is a full-time lesbian, so that is not easy. And Omar will make it happen, I'm sure. So we'll give you this one, come back with takeaways, wrap it up and get into the weekend officially next, and then hopefully we'll be seeing you in a few hours in Santa Ana. So good times for all, and we wrap up the show next right here on the world famous KROQ. Well, let's get some takeaways from today's show, and I think we have the comedian that Jake slept below Jake at the Comedy Condo on the phone, but unfortunately we cannot get his call on, Jake, but he's very upset about what you did many, many years ago. Let's do takeaways. Get out of here. And then, who's coming in today? I don't know. Is it Nicole? Is it Miles? Is it Megan? It's always a mystery here. I assume it'll be Nicole Alvarez back in it for 40 minutes nonstop KROQ. I guess we'll all find out together. Plus, you get yourself some tickets to Ohana Fest coming up again around noon. And if you're up for it, want to cut out of work early, or perhaps you work somewhere near Santa Ana, we will be the road charging station. First 100 people get themselves a free car wash. Ellie's laughing while she reads the takeaways, which is a good sign, I believe.
It's a good one.
We'll get to that coming up in a moment, but hopefully you come on out. We got tickets for Slightly Stupid at the Helpful Honda Sound Space, Intimate Show. We got all sorts of fun stuff happening from 11:30 to 1:30. Road charging Santa Ana, just off the 17th Street exit, and we will give away, I don't know, we got some of that. Oh, we got some of those merch shirts we were giving out yesterday at the Green Day Star, so we'll bring some of those as well. So come on out, say hi, have some lunch, and get your car washed. We've been sweating today. We're about to go into heat stroke. That once again, the system is broken here at the building. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like they're trying to sweat us out or something. You know when you have a landlord that you can tell doesn't want you there anymore?
Yeah, you can't get us out of here.
Yeah, they're trying to get us out of here. And this is like the fifth time in the last, I don't even know, month where they have had either extreme heat or extreme coldness. We've had to prop the door, but Allie and I we are sweating through our shirts right now. It's got to be 90 degrees in here easily.
I know. And then I'm trying to leave the room just to air out a little bit. We're going to be around a bunch of people later today. We're going to be so clammy and disgusting.
Should buy an extra shirt like me.
So Jake's used to sweating through his shirt right now.
And we both wore white shirts.
Sizzling right now. I'm pitting out hardcore in here. All right, let's do some takeaways and get out of here. Shut up.
626, my takeaway is Vanessa won the Towel of the Year award.
Yeah, congratulations, Vanessa. People are very excited about buying one of your tiny towels coming soon to the KROQ merch store.
951, my takeaway is the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce loves when people make jokes about peeing on the Walk of Fame.
They love it.
626, my takeaway is make sure you leave a good tip for the towing queen. 626, my takeaway is I'm Barbara Corcoran and I'm a squirter. That was my favorite of all.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you have to listen to the complete show. Out of context, these make zero sense. In context, you will probably thoroughly enjoy it.
And 503, my takeaway is I can't wait to go to Raging Rivers later today.
Oh, that was my takeaway.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Are you saying that to yourself?
That's what they call Barbara Corcoran. You know that? They call it Raging Rivers. All right, let's get into what's your takeaway, Jake the Nerd?
Dozer's a real good band.
Oh, man. This is one of Jake's favorite bands. We heard it earlier today in the game. Jake's Dumb Band, a racehorse in the Kentucky Derby. I don't even know if this is Dozer or any of his other bands because they all say.
It is Dozer.
Oh, what are the odds?
Have you heard of Hosier? Forget about him. Let me tell you another band called Dozer.
All right. Well, anyway,
no I in it. It's Dozer.
We're not playing any more Jake's bands on the radio. Your takeaway, Allie?
My takeaway is Johnny is a prolific writer.
Prolific. What an apology. If you missed it earlier, Johnny gave us his written apology. It meant a lot to everyone. All right. You got a takeaway, Omar, or is that it?
That's it.
All right. We'll do the weekend song. Omar's been challenged to go ahead and try to shatter his best ever record. Listen closely. This guy put Omar to the challenge. Here we go.
Yo, bitch-ass Klein. It's Friday. Omar, your record is 16 sound bites from the show that you have inserted into the weekend song. Let's see if you beat it. Happy Friday, bitches.
All right, we'll see you back here Monday for a very special Cinco de Mayo show. In the meantime, here's your weekend song, the anthem into the weekend, and hopefully we'll see you in a few hours, Santa Ana, and here we go.
You know this song, sing along.
Let's do it.
Holy moly.
Just look at the size of that burrito.
Acid farts.
It's not about that Monday, Tuesday. No one cares about Wednesday. Thursday. Forget that noise.
Good morning.
Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the rear end? Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the rear end? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trash. Thursday, Friday, forget about that. Friday, Saturday, where it's at. It's Sunday, sleeping in, eating brunch.
I don't know.
My body's weird.
Hit the beach or hit the mall. Go out with friends, do nothing at all. Sleep in, watch movies, read books. Anything goes, just take a look.
Baby.
Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end? Are you ready for the weekend? Are you ready for the rear end? Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. Are you ready for the rear end?
I hold you in my life will always go on. Near, far, wherever you are. I believe that the heart does go on.
Klein. Alley. Show. KROQ. Klein Alley Show.